Yo, what's going on? What's up? What's up?
What's good, fellas? This
What's
This your,
happening?
landlord.
Good afternoon, good evening, good evening.
yeah, this your man D Banger Thomas, people of the world.
Y'all already know this is be your own therapist, man. I'm gonna stay down. Like I said, the light's been fucking on my eyes the last couple of weeks, so I'm gonna go Avatar for about a good 20 minutes, maybe 30, and then I'll cam up, fellas.
Sure enough, this hog, everyone.
What's going on?
Yeah, I forgot you was saying that you was getting into you had a prayer, so I ain't want to cut you off, bro.
Yeah,
Oh
But
yeah,
you,
nah,
you,
I know
you,
you was hitting the mark, so it was all good. Yeah, what I was saying was I had to remember a prayer that I had prayed, and I was like, Lord, just basically wanted to be married. You know what I mean? Wanted to be settled down
yes,
before because I already knew about the temptations and everything
yes,
that was out there. You
sure,
feel? And then I had prayed for all of that before I had come home. And then I
yes,
came home, and then that's when she and I found each other, basically. And that's when I knew, based upon everything I had prayed, you get what
right,
I'm saying? And the
yeah,
blessing is that she was familiar to me. So it wasn't
right.
like she was a stranger.
Starting off fresh. Yeah,
Yeah, she
y'all
wasn't a
had
stranger. You get what
exactly.
I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
So
with
that
you.
was the blessing. You know what I mean? We had never had the opportunity of being in a relationship. So it was all, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it was a
Organic.
major blessing. Yeah, but even in that, you lose sight of what you prayed for previously. You lose
Right.
sight of what you asked for. Like those are the things that you got to be mindful of and look out for. You know what I'm saying? So when you
Yeah,
say that now, just as far as like the future, you get what I'm saying? How
yeah.
you had said you can do more in the future than you know what I'm saying than your past. Basically,
Anything you lost in your past.
yeah, it basically all coincides with where we are now because just the podcast, the music, you know what I mean? We was just talking about school, like, you know what I mean? I was able to complete that prior to coming home. So it's like I had that on my mind. So much has happened since being home though, like that this whole pandemic coronavirus, like I wasn't, I couldn't have factored that in like everyone that was already out here in the world couldn't have.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So when I
yeah,
came home into that really threw me for a
yeah.
loop. That was like extras on
Because it was
top of what
out,
I was already
everything was
coming
on
home with.
pause. You coming home, but you thinking, you're gonna have to jump in fast, but everything was on pause. So you like, whoa, hold up, what am I coming back to?
And then I'm already sped up in my head. So you know how I am. Like I've been studying, and they call it conspiracies or whatever, but I've been studying since way back. So when all
Mm-hmm.
this is going on, I'm like, whoa, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. So mentally, like I've been in a whole nother space. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Just with everything.
Word.
Yeah, but what's up though? What's going on? How was your?
Everything smooth out. Like I said, I'm just getting home settled. Had a good day at work. We're preparing. Like I said, we're preparing for some things at work. I had in my position at work. I had reached out to one of my mentors, and he was able to secure a partnership with my company, and so he actually doing diversity workshops for us, and so we're preparing for him to come up and do a second one on Friday, and so tomorrow, I'm just trying to make sure we got get the food and gotta get everything squared away. So pretty excited about that because previous to me having this position, they never had any diversity training. And so when I came in, that was like one of the first things I saw online. It says this is what they need to do. So when I talked to my boss, I say, "Have y'all ever had this?" And they was like, "Nah." So I said, "Well, I got a mentor, and he had just started a consulting firm. Feel me?" So I reached out to him, and it's funny, man, because sometimes you just think, I ain't gonna go too far into it, but you just think you can have things done and snap of your finger. I could do this, do that. But when I work for the city, but there's certain guidelines. You can't just hire somebody. Hey, I know this person, and then put them on. You know what I mean? They got a bid, and then the bid is out to the public. So you got other consulting firms bidding. You feel me? And so it's like it was fortunate that it worked out that he was able to secure that position. But I could throw my man a bag. He can make some money, but also equipped my colleagues and workers with same information so we could start building up. You know what I mean?
That was like a triple, quadruple win right there. That
without
whole,
question, bro.
that whole everything, because it's the
All the
first diversity for
yes,
the program. You just starting there,
yes,
boom, you bringing that with
yeah,
you. Then your mentor, he just
yeah,
started his consulting firm. The
without
bidding went
question.
on, and he happened to actually get the bid for it.
Yes,
Like that was fire right there.
for real,
Talk about
man,
law of attraction. That was all
for
like
real.
the dots, the stars just aligned on that one. That's
And
fire.
it was crazy because he had just started it, but he has a lot of he has a history in that because he's a diversity he was a diversity at a other college before he got there, but now he's a Title IX coordinator at the college he is now, so he has a lot of knowledge about diversity, equity, inclusion, importance of that, this and that. So it kind of gave a validity to me, like, okay, yeah, this is the cat we need, in this place. So I brought him in. He's 6'7". You know what I'm saying? 6'7", tall black man, bald head, talking that talk, this and that. So everybody sit back like, yo, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'm excited because we're gonna have the second one. He secured a year contract. He's gonna do some create some videos for us to put on our website, all that kind of stuff, on board and all that. So it's just like it's a big deal, but still kind of slow playing it because it's just like when you think about the diversity, equity, inclusion, like it's a big thing like this. Even tonight we're gonna be talking about, Black history and all this and that. Like this stuff been going on for years. You know what I'm saying? The strife of man and woman, black and white. You know what I mean? Child and all this and that. So it's like, yo, what can I do to change something that's been going on for forever? But it's really not. That's not the approach we're supposed to take. You know what I mean? It's like the way I see it is like this. Feel me? When they be having those food shows and you gotta eat this big burger, a big old steak, and you get it for free or something like that. You know what I mean? And the person don't sit down and just try to eat it all in one bite. You feel me? They take it one bite at a time. You know what I mean? So that's how you would be able to accomplish it. When you just section it out. Okay, we're gonna go for this first, this and this, and start building. You know what I mean? And so that kind of calmed me down because it's like, yo, this big thing with diversity and you know ethnicity and what I'm saying, inclusion. Now with the LGBTQ and all this and that, like it's all going on within our society. Like what can I say even in my city to make this thing start rolling in the right direction. But we start by taking a little chunk here, a little chunk here, building, building, and now before we know it, we like I said before with you look back like, oh, look how far we came. You know what I mean? So in the year that I've been there, we've been able to really saying get some good data, get some good changes started, and it's just like we just got the ball rolling. So now we gotta keep it rolling. Feel me?
Yeah, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
That's
So
I
fire,
love
man.
my
Like
man.
that's what I.
I love my man D Banger, because if you move away for a second, I was about to tell Pop, you better not fucking mic up with finding out before you find out what was going on in the forum, what they talking about, because you got to wait for my man D Banger, because I got him for a second, but then Banger came with the, yo, that's crazy, because you know how this went with that, and he brought the whole recap back to me, so I'm like,
Yeah.
good Banger, good Banger, good job.
Right, for
That's the
sure,
recap without having to rewind for a nigga who moved from the table for a second. I
without
appreciate
question.
that, man.
Yes, that's what it's all about, man. So it's been, been a good little day. Like I said, tomorrow we set up the space. Boom, boom. The only thing is now, what they got the weather. Well, y'all, they got the weather. They saying it's supposed to snow about to come back to us. So now I'm like trying to see how the road's gonna be. If my man gonna make it up the road and all that. So I hope the weather stay away until the weekend at least. But we just got over a snow. We just got over a snow. Uh, and they saying another 5 inches tonight. So I hope it stays away though.
Well, shit, it ain't supposed to snow on this side no more this week. I don't think we about to get
Yeah,
60 tomorrow, so we'll see a little bit of
sunshine.
sunshine.
Yeah, that's love. That's what I'm hoping for, man. Because I want to get this. Good. The good thing about it is like I work with a lot of Caucasians. Like I said, we in the Midwest, and we got the forestry, so we got a lot of. Man, I gotta watch what I'm saying. I'm not saying hillbillies, but other cultures. You know what I mean? And they're looking forward to that. I went by the shop the other day, like, yo, we're gonna have another one. So I know that what we've beginning to start is really kind of. They say you throw enough on the wall, something bound to stick. You know what I mean? So things are starting to stick, and everybody's all in. Because when you start talking about diversity and this and that, and I'm a black man, you just think, oh, he's against me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm white. But we got to show them like, now we all in together. We're trying to build and get everybody on the same page so we can grow and you know what I mean. So now everybody's guards is down, and they're able to receive the information that we're trying to give and understand that we all on the same team. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I like now, because everybody's just kind of we like I said, we got the ball moving, man. You know what I mean?
My fault, Bang. I just muted you when I heard the kids behind for a minute. I didn't know if it was mine or yours, so I was just muting both of them. But you good. Don't feel like you got to stay muted. I ain't trying to put you in time out. No, nigga mute a nigga mic. Nigga act like he can't unmute it. I'm looking at him like, can I mute back in? Can I mute back in? I'm not under control of that no more, brother. Push the button. Please say what you got to say.
Hey, yo, he be like the voice inside your head, right, Hog? Lane
Yeah.
be like the voice inside your head. I'm like, that's why I was still sitting here waiting just now, like,
I didn't
because
even
he was
see.
still going, and it was like the thoughts were still going in my head. But yeah, that's outside the room or what have you. But like, yeah, it's all good, bro. I didn't figure this part out. I'm still working on my tech side and all that, but I'm gonna get it though.
Nah, you good. Don't worry about that. We all got that sometimes. That's why you see me
Right.
double back pressing mute. Because I don't want them, what's going on in the background to overshadow what we going at.
Yeah.
Right.
They can talk some positive shit. They can get the thumb out of your butt. What? What the fuck is y'all kids do? Yeah,
Did y'all
Pop,
have a
what we
y'all had a good little holidays with y'all ladies yesterday? Other day?
Valentine, yeah, it was nice. It was well out here. It was that's when it actually got cold. It got fucking crazy on Valentine.
Okay.
Yeah, I had I was good. I was good to the evening time, and it's ill that you had asked that, because I was gonna ask you all about this, but I was good until the evening, and then I got a call. My cousin, she had passed away. She had lupus,
Sorry
Okay.
to hear
and
that.
Yeah.
like
My condolences.
I wasn't even focused on the fact of
What was
her being able to actually die from that. Like, I know she's had
Yes.
complications. I know she
Right.
had been
Right.
in and out the hospital. You get what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know
I
that
can
she
get
could
that.
It
actually,
could take her out.
yeah, man. So that really like that really hurt my heart, man, because like the last time I had spoke to her, she was, well, around the last time prior to or what have you, she had come out to New York, and I wasn't around at the time, but one of my bros, he was able to link up with her, because her and her man was out in the city, and they didn't know where everything was at, so it was a blessing that they was able to have like a semi guide or whatever for, what I'm saying, to get to
Right.
certain spots or whatever. But outside of that though, like, I had spoke to her then, but I didn't reconnect with her. Like, so it really hit me. It really hurt. Like,
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying? We were supposed to do some music together. You know what I mean? So it was like we
Mm-hmm.
had plans, and with the whole come home and everything going on, it's just bananas, man. Like, but she was really a beautiful person, man. Like, and it was her daughter's birthday of all days. Like,
Oh man.
you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it was like a double whammy. Like, but
Yeah, the
I
homeboy, my brother's homeboy, he got killed on his son's birthday. He had left the party and went to the gas station, and they got smoked at the gas station on his son's birthday. It was crazy.
yo, that's bananas, bro.
That's very, very unfortunate. My condolences to your family, man.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Like that, yeah, that's bananas, bro.
Man, I'm
That
telling
right
you,
there.
bro.
Yo, and I just read something. Look, I just saw something where in the Bronx there was a baby shower. All right. So there was a baby shower, and apparently an argument had started in the baby shower. Two dudes, they outside now. A 28-year-old
In the Bronx,
shoot,
right?
yeah, a 28-year-old shoots and kills a 24-year-old. So check it.
His
The
man come back and black
the
and
family
body
member,
him.
one of the family members of the 24-year-old that happened to be at the baby shower, he comes out, he grabs the gun, he kills the dude that just killed his family member.
Nah, I didn't go like that, Banger. He wasn't a family member. He was the best friend.
Well, he was close
Best,
to the dude that just got shot,
yeah.
bro. That
He
was like
said
my point. Like
one nigga got killed,
he
and then the best friend came and shot the nigga who killed the guy who just shot his best friend. That was crazy.
yeah, and the ill thing about it is that they was from New Rochelle. Like, you don't go to a baby shower planning on catching a body. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, or not making it home. Like, that's bananas, bro.
Yeah, some Westchester guys. And then you know they all came together because what's the chances is I'm all being from Westchester, but even though that's the back of the Bronx, so you know how that is. I was seeing about that on what was crazy about the other dude is since we in like little current events who followed the Chinese lady into our house, bro. He goes up 5 flights with her. He follows her in the building and walks up 5 flights with her and stabs her to death, leaves her in the tub. Then the police come. This nigga tries to use a female voice like it was her, going, nothing wrong. These niggas busting the door. This nigga crazy, look crazy looking nigga.
Wow.
Get
Killed
out of here, bro. This
killed
just
her.
happened recently.
Yeah, that happened the day before the one you talking about. You know, I'm a news fanatic now. God bless since my nigga Gorilla. You know how we used to be on that. So now, like on some real shit, I watch the news damn near every time I turn on the TV. I got to watch that shit. So
Yo,
that's what
that's
I was catching up. That's kind of how I be catching up on shit. So I was looking at that when you just brought it up. I'm sorry. It actually sparked back in. I was gonna say something about that too.
yeah, that's bananas because that's a hate crime. That was pure evil right there.
Yeah, but they not calling it a hate crime because he they took him to Bellevue because he off a little bit, so they didn't describe it as a hate crime. They was that's what the you know they people was trying to say because you know the coronavirus and all that, so they saying it's a big. I told you I
Yeah,
can get back with the kids. You gotta take over when y'all hear something crazy.
yeah,
So they basically was just saying that that was you know I forget what they call it, but it's not a hate crime.
yeah.
A stalking something because he actually uh, portrayed her as she walked in the building. The cameras is
Oh,
good.
so then that's a sex crime. Then he gonna have to. So
Yeah.
well, he ain't coming home. So
Oh
it's
no
over.
no 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 no. He under the jail. He under the he gonna be full with Ritalin and all that other type of shit. He gonna be a patient for another 17, 20 years.
Yeah, it's over. That's a sad situation right there, man. That's horrific right there.
Yeah, man, it's terrible, man. World going wild.
Then they had another situation about another off duty cop getting shot, but he ain't died. Now they talking about bringing back the task force. Remember how they used
That
to have
was
the
in the
task
city.
force?
Oh, that
Yeah,
what
it's in
part of the city that was in?
Harlem. And then a lady killed her grandmother on 100th Street, busting.
Word.
Yeah,
What?
a mental ill female. She busts her aunt or her aunt, one of those, her aunt or her grandmother in the head, and I guess they tried to cover it up, and they just found out, and they charged her yesterday for the shit.
And with a hammer, she hit it. She hit it with a hammer.
Nah, I don't know. They didn't really say the weapon of choice. They just saying that like probably she was like, you know, grabbed her and hit her and swung her against something and she probably hit
Oh,
her head.
I thought you were talking about just she banged her in the head with
She
the
could have.
bat.
I don't know. They didn't they wasn't specific on what actually happened. They just said it was, you know, the news. They was going through they daily a brief and letting you know what was going on new. Because you know it's wild right now. Niggas is bugging out. Then how y'all feel
All
about this?
around the world, brother.
But that's the energy. When you got Russia at the front door of a nigga like this, what's the energy of the world?
Whoa.
Ain't that the energy? You got us right now trying
Remember
to act
remember
like
that
we trying to defend.
remember that Digital Underground and Pac song all around the world. Same
Same
song.
song.
For
Same song, man.
real, man.
But
All around the world.
it shows you how true it is, though. Like
Yeah, for real. Cause like you said, it's really a spirit.
you said that, and then I'm watching a little bullshit. I'm not watching it, but I got it on, and I happen to peek over in the TV, and they got a mural of Pac, Biggie, and Easy E, and it's a movie with the kid that played Biggie. He in it, so that's just funny how you bring all that into the same motion of what's going on, and it's just all displayed.
Yeah. They said they were supposed to put with a hologram of Pac on the Super Bowl halftime, but they didn't put it on there. You know what I mean?
Hey yo, bro, that's ill how Snoop was able to acquire Death Row Records, right? Like think
Big.
about the circle
That's
of life.
big.
Think about the circle of life though, bro.
That's
Like
big.
this is really like you know, man is man, okay. But then above man is God, bro. And God is involved and orchestrated in things that we can't even fathom. So when I sit back and look at it, I'm like, yo, that is bananas, yo.
For
And
real.
that's like the chief corner, like the stone that the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone.
Yes.
That's similar to that
Yes.
scripture when, but and they're talking about Christ in that reference right there
Hmm.
though. You understand what I'm saying? But just
Yes.
as far as like being casted out or being the underdog in a sense, and you understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
then
man.
for the circle to come back around karmically, like you get what I'm saying? And that's the same thing for old boy that Suge was in business with, Harry O, because he curved Harry O on the situation. Like you get what I'm saying? Harry O was
But
locked up or whatever. He's out now, but
he's
you get
out
what I'm
now.
saying?
You
So
don't know what's
so
going
so so
on.
Suge had curved him in that situation as well, getting in bed with certain other shiesty characters. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everything just came right back around, man.
All
Now
right.
Big deal.
Snoop is the owner of Death Row Records.
No, he
Like,
not.
huh?
No, he
Yeah.
not. No, he not. He has a partner, and guess who his partner is?
All right, well, he's part owner, land. But what I'm
No,
saying
but
to you
no,
is that
just ask me who his partner is, man.
Who's his partner?
is it Suge?
Harry O.
Oh, all right. Well,
Harry
that makes
O,
even more sense.
the original Death Row owner, and Snoop are now the Death Row owners. I wasn't saying you was wrong, good brother. I was saying just watch, because watch how much it really turned around into tots. Because that's the nigga partner, Harry O.
Wow. Wow. That's wild.
That's fire because I actually Googled earlier when I was putting it in. I Googled who were the other investors because in my mind, I'm like, nah, there's somebody behind the scenes of this deal. So that's ill that you said that part right there, Land, because I
Yeah,
Googled that, but it didn't. You get what I'm saying? But it was just talking about that part because I was wondering that. I'm like, hold up. It was one, this company acquired it, then this one had it and bought it or
it was
whatever. He tried to
Untouchable
buy it the
Records or
first
something.
time
And then
or
he said the
whatever.
Godfather. What was it? Godfather? Maybe Godfather. I'm asking you so we can get.
Dogfather. The Dogfather.
No. Harry O.
Oh,
Harry O's is is Godfather Records, I believe, and all of them was umbrellas under the record label. So it was Death Row, and it was probably his record label and another joint all together. So
okay.
at that point, Death Row is the one that took over. They was the dominant one, but they were
Right.
still under umbrellas. So now it's crazy that they got direct ties to it. So now when you got a previous owner, that probably make this joint. Yeah, how far could you can go back probably to the original like transcripts because he's a part of the original transcripts. You feel me?
Right.
That's a good situation for Snoop. I think
Big.
that was a great performance. How y'all feel about that performance in the Super Bowl? I'm sorry, I mean
All of that was like regular scheduled programming to me. It was good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? M took his knee, you know what I'm saying? Had his fist up and all that. Regular schedule for M, you know what I'm saying? And Dre did his thing. Everybody did their thing. Regular scheduled
Right.
programming.
Right. Right.
Crip, Snoop up there, Crip walking, you know what I'm saying? Making history. That's huge for the whole West Coast. Like,
He
I
threw the
mean
C's
him,
up too.
huh?
I say he threw the C's up too.
Yeah, and don't forget about Mary J. She represented for the Queens. She been there since day one. That was fire.
What borough she from?
I want to say Yonkers, like
Okay. Okay.
where they got their own mayor, hog. Like
Y.O.
that's what they when the locks was coming out, and that's when they had that character, the Mad Rapper. Remember the Mad Rapper?
Yeah. Yeah. Of
Yo, they
course.
got their own mayor,
I
B.
got, I got, I got, I got more, I got more John Blaze stuff in there. I'm
Word.
my stuff is more John Blaze in
Yo,
that.
I wonder whose voice that was back then, yo.
Man, rapper, that boy. I'm gonna have to go
he
look
got
that up, man.
Angeletti.
He said, I got John Blaze stuff. I
The
got
mad
John
rapper
Blaze.
is D Dot Angeletti.
Oh, that's who that was, Lynn?
Oh, this ain't here he is. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's who that is.
Okay.
The
That's what's
producer.
up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what's up.
homeboy, I got John Blaze. I got John Blaze. These niggas ain't hot. These niggas ain't hot.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Sweat under my Nikes. Come on, dog. I got hits.
Yeah, man.
All that shit was whack.
Nah, bro, that's classic,
Oh,
man.
what was whack? It was a skit.
Pop,
Papa, you are
wow,
the
pop,
hater of the
wow. That's what I'm
show.
saying. Pop, you wild
You're
for
the
that, man.
hater
That's
of the
all.
show. He come on
Yeah,
just to go, fuck y'all day.
man. Yo, that
Bitches.
man, Pop got tight. Said it was whack. That's so classic. It's classic though. Pop, you just got it's
And
you
now I'm
know in
fucking with
history.
him. He a Jay
Oh,
Z fan.
okay,
That's why.
okay. My fault.
Yo, what's up, Pop?
What's going on? I've been listening.
What's going on?
Can't complain. Can't complain, man.
That's a bet.
So what's the topic for today?
As if this motherfucker can't read the bottom of the stroll. He been
I
here
probably
for the
yeah.
whole time,
I
yo.
tell you the
He just
truth.
been
I
here the
ain't
whole
even
time,
been.
y'all. That's why nigga can't lie. Nigga, yeah, I've been here listening the whole time, y'all. What's the
I ain't.
topic? Oh, is that it?
Oh,
Black
okay. No,
History
you talking
Month
about? I thought
remarks.
you meant the text message. I ain't even. I really don't pay attention to what the fuck. Okay.
Don't do that, man. Don't tell our fans to do that. How you gonna say you don't pay attention? What's that gonna make them do? Check us out every week on Spotify because we definitely gonna be out there 2 times a week. Make sure you check in. Be your own
I
therapist.
thought that was the name of the show right there. Scrolling by. Okay, I get it.
What's the name of our show? Black History Month.
Nah, the name of the show is Be Your Own Therapist, man. For those that don't know, man.
Come on, Papa. Why you gonna do that, man? You know what the name of the show is.
Pop,
I know
pop,
the
pop,
name of the show. I
pop.
meant the
Yeah,
text that's scrolling by.
We made it Be Your Own Therapist now, so when they say it,
Oh,
you
okay.
know
There
that.
you go.
Yeah,
There we go.
there we go. Yeah, fucking
Word.
topic, right? What's going on, though, for you, good brother? How your day been going?
I'm good.
It
It's
sound like you going through something over there,
yeah.
man. We
I was
gotta
just
talk
about to
about it.
say
That's the
it
whole
sounds like
purpose of us being here.
that man be trying to hide his angry moments.
Yeah,
That man laying off the chain, man.
Every time I heard his angry moments, hog. Look at it. Look, this avatar even look like it's being
Ah,
all white, no picture.
let my man breathe.
How was your Valentine's Day, Pop?
I ended up, me and my wife, we went out to dinner, you know what I mean, and just kind of chilled out and came home, had the little nightcap and all that, so it was pretty cool. Exchanged gifts, so
that's what's up.
That's
yeah, it
what's
was
up, man.
a good little night, you know what I mean. Just don't get too much time, you know. Got shorties and all that by itself, so
Yo,
even
let me tell y'all what happened to me, man. Right?
all right,
Remember how we was on the show the other day? I had them gummies.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yo, fan, that shit changed my whole perspective on the universe, and I'm gonna tell you why. I was only supposed to eat half of a half, and I went and ate a whole half. So
You just
when
trying
I
to
tried to
display how
sleep,
high
fam,
you
it was
was.
over.
When you
In
try to
my
do what, it was
mind,
over.
listen, I'm gonna
You
tell
try to go
you
to sleep
what
and it
my
was over.
mind was going, what was going on in my mind. It's like my spirit left my body, right? And I'm thinking, I'm like, oh shit, like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Basically, what I was thinking was life was a simulation. Like everything was a simulation. was, was some real shit. Like on some real shit. Like life was a simulation. We get up every day, we do the same thing. It's like a reoccurrent theme. And we're just placed inside of a simulation. So I'm thinking there like, yo, what the
But I
and
used
I
to
had
think
the,
that.
and I had the TV on, right? But it seemed like the TV kept whatever I was watching that was in the background kept repeating itself, like the
Mm-hmm,
same episode, going
mm-hmm,
back to 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 back.
mm-hmm.
So I'm bugging out. I'm like, yo, I gotta. I was like, yo, what the fuck? I'm started yelling. I was like, yo, Bam! In my mind, I swear to
Yeah, I
God.
thought he was
I
at
was
the
like, yo, we gotta
Truman
do the
Show.
show, Bam! I'm yelling. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is going on? So I'm like, yo, I'm trying to break out of it. Like, yo, I need to, you know what I mean? But it was wild, like, thinking that way. Like, I never thought that way before. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the whole universe, everything was a simulation. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck
I
is
told you
going
you
on?
was in
Yeah.
for it. I
I
told
I
you you was
was, it
in
was
for
over
it.
for me, man.
I ain't gonna lie.
I
I used to
really
think
felt
like
like
that,
if
Papo.
it's so scary because had I been anywhere where I was on a roof or something, I
Yeah,
probably would
you
have
wasn't
walked off
safe.
and thought I could fly.
I
Right,
used to
right,
say
right.
this shit, and this shit used to be crazy. It'd be like, yo, what if life was just one long dream? What's the
Yeah,
wacky?
it
But
felt
what's the
like that.
wacky shit that's gonna be about this
Probably,
dream?
yeah.
Cause you
It
gonna
really
wake up
felt like that though.
shitty, knowing all these shits niggas is taking and all these pisses and all. We gonna wake up nasty. So if we was in any place, we gotta have a caretaker.
Hey, yo,
Cause
Yeah,
Pop.
yeah.
But when you was going through that, this was when we was on the episode. You was
No, after
outside your
that
body.
going
that
to
same
sleep.
day, the same day after the episodes was over, and I tried to go to try to sleep. This was like late at night. I think I started because it takes a while for that
Oh,
gummy shit to kick in your system. So this probably would have been like 1 o'clock in the morning or something. I was bugging out.
Oh, so that sound like to me you was astral projecting because you
Yeah.
left your body. You was astral traveling.
that nigga was high, man. That's all it was. You know what niggas do when
Nah,
you get high and it be your first time experience. Yo, let me tell you what happened last night, B.
nah, that shit felt like some other shit, man.
It did. You right. It felt high.
Yeah, and I ain't never doing no
You ain't
gummies
high.
ever in life again.
Them
That's
shits
it.
don't get me high
I'm
like
just
that.
glad it didn't go. You
He glad you have a die. Glad it didn't go
Nah,
bad.
for real. I felt like I wasn't ever gonna come back. It's like I was just
Nah,
stuck
but
in a
this what I'm
simulation.
saying though. When you said that you had left your body, like did you see yourself outside of your body?
No, I didn't see myself. It just felt like
Like you
it's
flying, like everything is free.
yeah,
Like I have no form,
yeah,
spirit wise.
yeah,
Ghost riding.
yep.
Oh, you was numb.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, but my mind was like, "Yo,
boy gone.
I actually did wake up and I stood, but it's just like my body was moving, but my mind. What you understand what I mean? It's just like
Mm-hmm.
it was just like the body. Yeah,
Was
it was
paralyzed
crazy.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like, yeah, all right, I got you. And then
it's like my mind was controlling just a robot. Like your body's just like a robot, but your mind is really the. You know what I mean? So
Okay,
I really
everybody.
had to tell myself like, listen, you bugging out right now. Try to go to sleep. And sleep. It was almost like, how you see the cartoon with one side of your mind is on
Uh-huh.
one shoulder and the other. That's how it really felt like. One nigga was like, yo, and the other nigga like, yo, calm the fuck down, nigga, go to sleep.
Now this
The other
may
one was like,
be. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
nah, you
This may
straight.
be one of the realest debates we had of today. If you did your homework, just with the incidents on how the brother that we speaking about today, Lamar Smith, how not only things were dealt with, not only the issues in the time, the placement, the place, like meaning where these things are happening, but just the disrespect. Like, and it's all of these things are happening. And what's funny is we have a Black History Month, and we might have went over Mega Aga. We go over we're gonna talk about Lamar Smith. We're gonna talk about today also Reverend George. I'll get the rest of his name. I forget his last name, George. I'll say it later. But these are all guys that were killed within a 2 month time period, and we don't even understand it. Emmett Till, all these guys were killed within a 2 month time period in the same year and almost the same area.
George W. Lee.
George W. Lee, thank you. Reverend George W. Lee. And all these dudes were killed within like I said, a 2 month like time span. 3 of these incidents all happened in Mississippi. No, I believe all 4 of the incidents happened in Mississippi. Even to how you would say we would picture and imagine Mississippi is today. Because, like I always say, like I visited Jackson, Mississippi. I went there for 2 summers. Like I have family in Jackson, Mississippi. My uncle lived in Jackson, Mississippi. Went to school in Jackson, Mississippi. When he was growing up, his father's reason for bringing him out there is he told him, like, you can't own any land in New York. New York, you're not allowed to own anything. You can't own your house. You can't own your everything. You have to pay property tax on this and that and this, that, and the third. You can't own anything. You come out to Mississippi, I own his whole block. I give you your first house. My uncle heard that. He went to Jackson, Mississippi. His whole life changed for the better. But listening to certain things and these incidents that these people used to have to go through in Mississippi, it's just crazy. How the tables were turned, even though the population, it was still in those times, it was more black people than it was white people there. But that's the main reason they made sure like half of these guys were killed, because these were guys that was not only trying to enforce the rules and make sure people was voting and going out there to get their vote in, but they were actually foot soldiers. So when they knew it wasn't safe enough for the voters to actually go to the ballots, they would take the ballots and they'd run to the courthouses and they'd make sure these votes were all put in so we can have some type of voice. I know Papo ain't do his homework. You did your homework, Papo?
I didn't I never heard about the brother before. So this is during the times of Emmett Smith, you said? I mean, Emmett Till?
Yeah, remember I told you when I seen the Emmett Till, when I seen the actual the mural. And when I seen the mural, I seen names on the mural already, and they
Oh,
said
okay,
the
yeah.
things why people were killed. So when I was saying let's do Black History Month, and I didn't want us to pick everybody who we already knew. Like we wanted the unsung heroes, the ones that if we wasn't hearing about the ones that really was making change, imagine the ones that started these movements. We wasn't gonna never hear about them, because you feel me? Our history been flushed. So I picked Mega Everett. I picked Craig Lamar Smith and Reverend George Lee, because I seen all of those brothers' name actually on the memorials when they had the Emmett Till, when they had the actual movie, and I seen the actual memorial thing that they got that has all of their names on it. And now once you sit back and you do the history, you understand why all of these brothers was tied together. Because
Yeah.
besides Emmett Till, they were all pretty much fighting the same fight. And now it gives you a little bit more light on why Emmett Till will come to Mississippi, even though we heard it was so bad in Mississippi. Because even though it was so bad, blacks kind of did overrule. So they kind of did have their own lands and places where they was able to, spread their roots. But it was just a white man's land, as always. So it was just wicked as far as the times. But D-Banger, I already know you got a list of notes, and I already know where you ready to go it, and I always enjoy your energy, brother. So could you set us off? Because are you ready? Because I don't want to fuck up your little snack time. I'm sorry, I just noticed.
Yeah, I've never been to
Nah, but I could
Mississippi.
say something that's straight, but like this is what I was like you said, it was similar, like funny about it's all in Mississippi, but while I was looking at one of the videos about Lamar Smith, the governor at that time was saying how, in a boastful way, how Mississippi, this is after, they still had the separation between the whites and the blacks. They still had that because they had, had the Jim Crow,
Segregation.
that's the segregation. Said this is the only state that still is enforcing
This
Mississippi
last
that's still
state.
enforcing segregation. And as long as I live, as long as I breathe, it's going to stay like that. You know what I
That's
mean?
crazy.
And that's what he was standing on. And that's the energy of the Caucasians in that state. And as you said before, the people that we covered this month, all these incidences happened in Mississippi. they were trying to keep the separation, and they were trying to keep the upper hand, even though, as was already been stated, blacks outnumbered the Caucasians. That's how they instilled the fear, by having these incidences and showing, if you step across this line, you will get dealt with in these manners. You know what I mean? So that was like one of the, as Benga before Benga started, that's one of the things that we could take in consideration, because the Caucasians wanted to keep it how it always was. You know what I mean? And people like Lamar Smith, people like Medgar Evers was fighting to walk in the freedom of the new rights that they were able to require. You know what I mean? But the Caucasians wanted them to live and move in fear. And these gentlemen refused to be afraid, wanted to um, lead and speak out. You know what I mean? So that's what one of the things that I thought was so interesting, because the governor said, as long as I breathe, it's gonna stay like that, and I don't care what the government said happening. Mississippi is gonna stay segregated. You know what I mean?
And they were so happy on being the last state in the world
Took pride in
segregated.
it. That's why I said, and
Segregated.
he said it in a boastful way. He took pride in it. Like, yeah,
All,
we on to this. Ain't nobody gonna make us change. We gonna rock like this. You know what
all
I mean?
these men we talking about, they had all white juries, each and every one of them. All white juries. These niggas shot the nigga in broad day on the court steps, and there was not a witness who seen anything. Now, I don't know, like on the courtyard steps, the nigga crawled to the bushes. The nigga said, if any nigga grab him and take him to the hospital, you leave that nigga alone. And they watched that man die out for about an hour, bro. Begging, please.
Yo, they still doing that to this day. Like how they was murdering civil rights leaders. Like they still murdering us like that to this day. Like Dickney was Lamar Smith's middle name.
Now,
Um
now, when you say that, you saying, oh, because I really don't see any civil rights leaders
yeah, it
in
don't
this
have
day.
to
But you
be
know what's crazy
it don't
though?
have to be civil rights
You
leaders
saying in that
as
form of fashion. We
Yeah, but
have
no,
them.
no. But you know what's crazy? One of the sisters from the Black Lives Matter. I don't know why this wasn't a big story. She was shot in the head in the UK. I and
Mm.
I,
But now,
I'm thinking
now,
she survived,
banger,
but yeah.
because you stole a brother on the lady who started the Black Lives Matter
No,
now,
no, no.
since he want to go.
That's not her. It's one. This is a young sister. She's one of the founding members. This is like she's like a young sister. She's not. You understand what I mean? She's not
She,
that type.
you don't know what type she is. She one of the
Nah, I'm just
founding
saying.
members.
But
Not
whatever she did, like it was an assassination on her in the
basically
UK.
he's saying she one of the radical ones, Land. That's
Yeah,
what I get from Pop.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
one of the radical ones that was part of the movement.
Exactly. She's
And there's
not.
right.
all
Yeah.
radicals in that movement, but the
She's more
founders,
outspoken. Yeah, leading marches and shit like that. Um, but I was like, damn. When I read that, I was like, yo, how come this shit ain't? But they were still trying to find out
that's
who.
why
You know
the
what I mean?
assassination was over there in the UK, Pop. They didn't want it on the news over here.
Yeah, but still, it's like, damn.
They control the media, bro. Like, these people control the news stations, right? So like they control what information is dispensed and what information isn't. You're not getting
Narrative.
any, you're not getting anything. Yeah, they definitely control the narrative. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting anything by accident. You're getting whatever they want you to know. But like he was Lamar Smith, he was born in 1892. American civil rights figure, as we said. He was a farmer. He was a World War I veteran.
Yeah.
And basically the key ingredient with him that stood out with me was like him being a major factor, you know what I'm saying, in organizing that voter registration. And it's like what you said, Lan. It's like back then, especially in that area of Mississippi, right? Like they not only were they against us as black people and black men, right? But like when it came to like the voting rights and things of that nature, it's like they took that to like a whole nother level. Like, you know what I mean? They really took that as a form of disrespect or whatever.
They
I
knew
mean,
our power immediately. They knew
oh,
your
they
power.
oh, most definitely. They always knew our power. At the end of the day, it's like with this situation, I mean, the gall, like you said, like the brazenness of the assassinations that they've committed, the things that they've done, right? They murdered him in broad daylight, 10 o'clock in the morning. All right, so check it. On August 2nd, right, he voted in the primary and helped get others out to vote. There was a runoff primary scheduled for August 23rd. On August 13th, Smith was at the courthouse helping other black voters to fill out absentee ballots so they could vote in the runoff without exposing themselves to violence at the polls. And he was shot dead in front of the courthouse. The DA said, I mean, not verbatim, but basically the DA was like, you know, it's bugged out. The sheriff ain't said nothing or identified the dude because he was right there standing next to me. You know, type shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like the sheriff was right there. Like he,
Right.
like there was a dude that the dude left the scene with blood on his clothes. Like, so then, like what you said as well, Lan. Smith's murder was one of several racially motivated attacks in Mississippi in 1955. You know, the other incidents included the murder of George W. Lee, Reverend George W. Lee, a civil rights leader in Belzoni. That happened in May. The killing of Emmett Till, black teenager visiting from Chicago. That happened in August. And the shooting of Gus Courts. That happened in December. He was a civil rights associate of Lee in Belzoni. But the Lamar Smith case was cited in the NAACP's pamphlet. M is for Mississippi and murder. Now, because no witnesses came forward and whoever passed on and whatever the case may have been, his case was officially closed in 2016 by the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. Like, so that's bananas. Like, so like his family, on top of all the many others, like his family never received actual justice for this. Like 2016, that's only 6 years ago.
Nobody
That's only 6 years ago
served a day in prison for this.
That's only 6 years ago that this joint was closed.
And they shot the man on the courtyard steps. Go ahead, bang. I don't mean to.
So you mean to tell me that happened on the courtyard step and there was no police marshal, nobody, no nothing to
Nah, but that's
subpoena
what
to
I'm saying,
talk?
Pop. That's what I was
No, it
saying
was no.
that's what I was saying, Pop, that the DA has said. The DA was like, I don't see how the sheriff ain't came forward to say who it was or what happened because he was right there with me. Basically, like if I saw the dude and I saw everything that happened, how the sheriff didn't see everything, how he isn't coming, how they haven't arrested this individual.
That's us going back to saying, how did the governor go up and shake the murderer's hand during the trial while the nigga wife was on stand giving her
No, well,
testimony
what I'm
for
saying is
Medgar
in the court,
Evers?
and when you're prosecuting for a murder case, you
We
have to
we hear what you're saying, but they were all the right color. They ain't they if
but
we
no, but
telling
I
you
think
from
it's
No,
different
it's
from when it's coming from the
then
Department of
nothing.
Justice, right?
no, it
From a
wasn't no different. Not no Mississippi. Remember the police said when they killed Medgar Evers, he was like, they did us a favor. We glad they killed that nigga.
yeah, but what I'm saying is you have the state and then you have the federal, like civil rights. Um, how would you say?
No, the
Basically,
fact,
when your
no,
civil
like you
rights
said,
is
you're right.
violated,
No, no, no,
you know
no,
what I
no, no.
mean?
You're right.
The
It's
U.S.
either,
attorney, whatever that is,
but that's the
can
federal
prosecute.
government. The federal
Yeah,
government
federal.
ain't
Yeah, yeah,
coming in if they don't have any case. You
yeah.
don't have any witnesses. What the federal government gonna do? They gonna come
No,
in and make the police?
no
You
information was given. So
you
that
subpoena them to talk, and if they lie, if they find, then you know what I mean. That
Bro, then that's
I
the
don't know.
federal government back in that day. They working neck and neck.
Yeah.
yes, they just wash their hands. We don't got nothing. It's dead. He dead. We out of here. You know what I mean? We don't got nothing to say. Nobody telling us nothing. It's it. Well, what I'm gonna press the issue for? They was their own lawmen. They handled their own justice down there at that time.
And laughed in your face
All
when
right,
they
so
went
check it.
down.
So check it. Three white men. Noah Smith, Matt Smith, and Charles Falvey were arrested in connection with Smith's murder. On September 13th, 1955, an all-white Brookhaven grand jury failed to return any indictments. The district attorney reported that the sheriff, Carney E. Smith, refused to make an immediate arrest, although he knew everything I know. The district attorney further reported that the sheriff told him he saw Noah Smith, one of the accused, leave the scene with blood all over him. It was his duty to take that man into custody, regardless of who he was, but he did not do it. Noting that all three of the accused were deceased, the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division closed the civil rights case in 2016. So they didn't even bring charges up on the sheriff. Like the DA didn't even try to prosecute the sheriff. Like he called himself standing up and he threw the sheriff under the bus. Check it. But then he didn't even bring the sheriff up on charges after that, because that's what he could have done. He could have brought the sheriff up on charges. So even that part of the quote unquote blind justice system.
But then you still got to get the whole force against the sheriff. If the whole force is standing with the sheriff, then you ain't gonna be able to infiltrate them, because the police is their own mob in itself.
But the DA is he's a sworn in he's a sworn in individual. So he already put it on file in the court. He threw him under the bus in the court.
But you're still, and what did that do in the court? You're still a suit. Let's find out what happened to that district attorney after he did that.
Are all these people dead?
Yeah, the majority of them. Exactly. The guys that was actually that got trialed. Well, they didn't even get charged. The ones that went to, I don't know what they went
So
to.
why did, so you saying they closed the case in 2016? Did they say for what?
Because
they
couldn't
closed it
find
because
evidence.
bro, like everybody dead, nobody came forward, and the case, if they had everything right in front of their face back then, bro, and that was 1955, they had the dude with the blood on his clothes, they had the murder weapon, they had all that in their access, bro. This is 2016 when they closed it. You know they didn't dissolved all that stuff by then, and them dudes is dead. So it's like, who could they really charge after that? So it's like they just allowed the statute of limitations to expire.
And now we know why they do what they do to our bodies when we die, because you see how Mega Ever was when they brought that man back up. That man looked the same as when they put him in the ground. So now we know they put shit in you so you deteriorate. So
yeah,
now,
that embalming fluid.
So now nothing can be seen. It's back in the days, them niggas was last, and they dug that man up 20 years later. He looked the same.
Yeah, Lamar Smith had 2 children, and he was a part of the Republican political party. Because you know the original Republicans, they were black.
Mm-hmm. Well, if we didn't know, but you can definitely school us on that, brother, because that's part of the test right there.
What? Yeah, well, I mean, I had heard it, bro, and it was news to me. And then like when Nas and Jay did that Black Republican joint, I was like, this is deeper than rap. But then when I did the history, the Democrats is really the ones that's really against us. Like political parties, politics, poly is many, ticks is bloodsuckers. So whatever, they all together, whatever. But at the end of the day, though, like, you know what I'm saying, as far as the history of this thing of ours, though, you understand? The Republicans, like, from my understanding, you know what I'm saying? Like that history goes back to us. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you reading up on it now, so they can't tell you it's false.
And then not for nothing, I'm also finding finding out Abraham Lincoln was a black man. He wasn't no white man, and he made reference to him being a black man in his notes, that if they tried to, not verbatim, but whitewash him or change his look, this is what he looked like. Word to mouth, like, yeah, like.
You said Abraham Lincoln was black?
That's
Makes
what
sense.
I came across.
He wasn't black. He was probably mixed somewhere down the line, but I don't think he was.
I mean, they had Like I
Anybody
saw.
mixed with black is black, brother.
No, they're not.
Got the one
No, they're
drop,
not.
one drop pop,
Don't
one
make you
drop
black.
of blood.
Don't try to clean. Nah, you
Yes, it
can't.
do.
You
Hey,
ain't
bro,
got.
you tweaking as far as
You
like
don't
math
have
and
to say
science go.
that.
Like you
They'll
obviously
say
don't
it.
pop.
You
Like
ain't no
pop.
pure blood if you ain't all way right. You ain't no
Nah,
Aryan blood. You
you
ain't
ain't no
pure
pure blood if you
Aryan
ain't.
blood.
Nah,
You ain't pure Aryan blood.
nah.
Hey, this is what this is my take of everything, man. I wanted to bring this out in the conversation. Is like what I was watching, and it was saying how what some of the things that fueled African American males like Lamar Smith and even Medgar Evers, how they came home. You know, they fought in the war. Really put the fight in them because when they came home, they had to go overseas, fight this war, and then come back to all these problems. You know what I mean? And it's like I put my head, neck on the line for my freedom, for this country, and I'm coming back, and now I'm still a second-rate citizen. You know what I mean? So this is the energy that Lamar Smith came back. He was ready to buck the system because he had already served, you know, for this country. And so for me coming back and you being a Caucasian male, you saying XYZ, thinking you did, but you never even put on that uniform. You never even put, you know, the energy into the freedom that I actually put the work in for. So now that I'm coming back, I'm going to ruffle the feathers and I'm gonna charge every African American around me to take their rightful place um and pursue their natural rights. You know what I'm saying? Within the rules and regulations of this country. You know what I mean? So I think that's the coldest thing, man, because and it goes back even now, you know what I'm saying? You got you know, people that's in the military, they go fight overseas, and you know, a lot of them come back with PSTD and mental problems, but they come back and they don't get, you know, we have a lot of veterans that can't even get health care. They can't even get, you know, what they need after they go do all this for our freedoms and this and that. You know what I mean? So I think that should I wanted to put that in you know, on the table for the conversation because that's what fueled that man to go after what he thought was his because of the sacrifice that he put into his own freedom and for the freedom of the Caucasian Americans and the African American. And I thought that was a cool thing. I mean, we all seen, you know, we seen the movie Dead Presidents with Lorenz Tate and Chris Tucker's came back from fighting in that war and how some people was doing this. Lorenz, he couldn't even get a job, you know, to barely feed his family, but he had sacrificed all this time and they killed all these people over there in pursuit of what? You know, to come back and still, you know, kind of be scraping nickels together. You know what I'm
So the
saying? Still
rich can
look,
stay rich
you
and the poor
know what
can
I mean?
stay poor.
What's that?
So the rich can stay rich and the poor can stay poor.
So it's just that type of game, you know what I mean? And I could feel that energy when I was looking at the video I was watching about Lamar Smith. They was just saying how that is where that fight came from because these guys was literal soldiers, man. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna come back, and then you still want me to sit on my hands after I just went over across these seas and did this and did that. You know what I mean? I'm not going for that, and you are gonna have to kill me. You feel me? I am finna speak my piece. I am finna go after everything that I fought for. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So I can appreciate, you know what I'm saying, that type of energy. And I'm not going to say I'm a militant man by any stretch of the means. I really go with the flow, natural, whatever. But I'm not no sucker either, man. So I could feel how he came, you know, and it was all within the rules and regulations of what the government issued for us to have. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I could appreciate that. You know what I mean? For him taking that stand and saying, "Hey, I'm going for this.
And
This is
then
what I fought for. This is what I sacrificed." You know
And
what I
not
mean?
only that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but imagine this, me going to war and we know the conditions of our country. So over there, I'm a slave and this boy this and this, that, and the third. You got to be sir and master. But now when we in war, your punk ass is right behind my black ass because you want to stay alive. And I know
Yeah.
your ass ain't fit for this. Your punk ass, now you was really, nigga, because this ain't no games. This ain't just no slave master shit. You got to go out there and earn it. Now I see what you really about. So it's like, yeah, you niggas got courages back in America to lay a whip on a nigga, but when y'all really out in the pressure, now y'all gotta fight for yourselves. Y'all depend on us like a motherfucker. We your front line, your back line, your whole line of defense. So you niggas need to show us respect.
After you said that, Landon, reminded me too. Another point is that, you know, when you mentioned earlier in the conversation how, you know, how the Caucasians look at, you know, that Lamar as, you know, a uppity nigga or whatever this and that, but they also didn't appreciate because some of his nephews, nieces and nephews said on video how he had things, he had a car, he had clothes, he talked like he had sense, you know what I mean? And they hated to see African American flourish, you know what I mean? So that made him feel some kind of way even deeper than he said. If you was a average nigga and you didn't have nothing, you know, that's where they thought you were supposed to be. They didn't care. But if you had a house, you had a car, and you trying to go vote too, like who you think you is? You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
trying to keep they on they neck. You know what I mean? And he wasn't for none of that, man. You know what I mean? It cost him his life, but you still can't put me in this box.
And
You
you
know what I
know
mean?
what's crazy about how you put that? Because that just shows the strength of our people, even at that time, when you might consider a nigga who made it and had something. He still was in the motherfucking fight, heads on,
Yeah.
gloves and all that, nigga, in the midst of it.
Front Street.
Try and make sure that motherfuckers had the same rights and same shit can go down and niggas had justice and it wasn't no bullshit. One just sitting on his high horse making sure he was all right, staying out of master's way.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's wild right there, man.
Nah,
Damn, I
but that
never heard
makes
about that story.
a lot of sense what you were saying. Because that was like also the energy after the Vietnam War. Like, you know what I'm saying, when they had come home and everything. And
Yeah.
yeah, like that's really what's missing. You know what I'm saying? Is
Right.
that militantness, like collectively, you know what I mean,
Yes.
as one when the time is needed for it. Like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, within our own communities or whatever, right? We go
Mm-hmm.
through our own things, right? Like our community as like our extended family or what have you. But then when something happens, you know what I'm saying, we should be able to form. We should be able to form like Voltron. Like Amir Locke was murdered out in Minneapolis. They rallying and protesting in Cali. Like it should be rallies and protests all across the country, like in some shape or form. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because it's ridiculous, man, what's really going on. And I'm talking about us as black men. I ain't even
Yes.
talk about our women being on the front line, how they are and how that been standing up for us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about us standing up as black men. And then when I say that, I think about how earlier I saw the joint on YouTube about it was Eric Adam and a couple of other rappers and stuff. They was talk about New York drill music. And he was saying that his son had showed him a video or whatever. He didn't really he wasn't really fully aware of what, you know, about the New York drill music scene or what have you.
Right.
But the thing about it is that, you know, they had a couple of reps from the industry up there. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, that's good. But I see politics in it though. Cause my whole thing is this: where y'all niggas was at when them other kids was murdered already though? Like,
Mm-hmm.
how y'all coming out? Like, that's my whole thing. Because as far as like the industry goes, like, it's easy to say whatever at the end of the day, but dudes have a lot more power. But then they'll talk about not wanting to be a role model, but know that you automatically in that position if you out there in front of something and you representing something and people are able to look up to you. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want that role or not, at the end of the day, it's a blessing that they're doing something now. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all had the voice to do something
Are you
before. You
doing
didn't have
something?
to. You didn't have to wait until a black mayor showed up. At the end of the day, like, because you understand what I'm saying to you. So it's like we
I,
all have to be accountable because it's generations involved. Think about it. The younger generation is running this scene right now. They
Right.
they running the scene right now. We're the older generation, so we already been here. There's already been dudes in that industry. There's already been, you know, and there's dudes that do snatch each other, you know, the youngins up or whatever. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying collectively, man, like everyone, just us as men, man, we need to be more accountable, hold ourselves more accountable, hold each other more accountable, and be able to come together, man, because in order to be the heads of our family, we got to stand up to be the head. You know what I'm
That's a
saying? It can't
fact.
just
That's a
it
fact.
can't just be when it affects your family. Like, oh my goodness, this is a tragedy. Look what happened to my family. No, what about everyone else's family? What are we doing about their families? Like, you get what I'm saying? You just gonna wait till it hits your hood? It only matters when it's in your hood. It can't be like that, and it shouldn't be like that. All lives matter when it comes to us, man. I ain't talk about nobody else's culture or ethnicity, but when it comes to us, man, and we didn't need no banner or no movement to show that Black Lives Matter. We
Right.
should have already knew that our lives matter at the end of the day. That was my whole premise with it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, a lot needs to be done before it gets bad or before politics comes into place, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the like that's the other twisted side of things, man. Like being used as puppets or whatever. Like,
I think that that's what it was saying. Like we were saying, like when we start talking about what's the solutions last week. One of the solutions was to get back that family unit. Which if we reestablish the family nucleus, now that builds community, and then that energy, what I'm saying, starts to form. You know what I mean? So not to be redundant, it's going to start with us, like you're saying, taking position, but it's going to start with our family, and we then after we, you know, fuel our children and reestablish that energy. Then the next family it grows around. Now we have a community, and everybody's underneath you know, the same movement. You know what I mean? The same culture, the same ideals. You know what I'm saying? Because like you
yeah,
said, across the country, that's what
Same
happened when
values.
George. The same values. That's across the country. That's what happened when George Floyd was killed in Minneapolis as well. You know what I mean? So many times I think there's a lot of I hate that Amir Locke got killed, but I'm saying I think it wasn't a lot of people jumping up in every state again because they just seen how we did that for George Floyd and still nothing happened. You know what I mean? So it's like they kind of got the air taken out of them because how many times we're gonna have to rally? How many times we're gonna have to do this and that until we see a immediate change?
till we
You know what I
win the
mean?
war. Till we win the war, bro. Like think about
No, I'm saying
everything that
this is what people are saying. That's why we didn't get that push when with what's going on with the mirror right now.
nah, you absolutely right. Like I agree with everything that you're saying. And and basically just to piggyback off of that, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's when you have to realize that you're really in a war. This is when you have to know, not us here right now, but
Yes,
just in general, collectively as a people, like this is not a game. This ain't no joke. You don't train your kids to wild out on police when they see them. You don't, if
yes,
a situation happens, you don't have your female next to you all erratic and emotional. You're supposed to go through these things prior to. You're
hmm
supposed to plan accordingly, like you're saying, starting with the families. And then also, as far as the families and communities, like we saying, it's not just about my son just mattering. All our sons matter.
yes,
All our kids matter, whether they just in our immediate community or whether they wherever they may be. They all matter. They all should matter. It shouldn't just be an uproar when it's just one, because you know what, we got more than enough right now to go out there for right now. We got more than enough list of names right now. We ain't
You,
got to
you,
wait for another one. We ain't
yeah,
got to wait for another tragedy to happen. It's more than enough. It's more than enough money in that industry. What you understand? It's more than enough money around.
can I ask a
Period.
question?
I was not even to cut you off, Pop. I was
Go
talking to
ahead.
one brother last night. He's a world-renowned jazz musician. And he was saying he remembers, he's 50 something. He remembers when black people didn't have no money, yo. He remembers. And then he remembers when there was no people on sitcoms on TV. He remembers when it was just Janet Jackson, Lionel Richie, and Michael on MTV. Like,
Right.
he was talking about that type of history. And he like, look at us now. And that makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the things, and then I was talking with my cousin, and he was just saying like the money, man. Like how the fat kid would talk about the moon spell. They
Man, I'm
caught
glad you said that, man. I got
they
something to
got
say
us
after
caught
you.
up in the moon spell.
I'm
Like they
about to
got
say,
brothers feeling like if they don't have any money in their pocket, that they not worth nothing. Like you
Yes.
understand? Like that's the moon spell. They putting the moon in front of the sun, like they blocking off the energy, God's energy. Like you understand what I'm saying? So like when we was building on that, I'm not even gonna ramble because you was about to say something, Pop. But that was basically what I wanted to finish about old boy and the history from whence we've come. We ain't got that
Wow.
voice no more. Like, oh, it's hard out here. Come on, man, stop it.
Yeah. Well, what just came to my mind is and I have a question, and y'all can respond how you want to respond. But where did not this generation? Well, we could start with this generation and going back to when the younger generation first learn how to become men. Like where do we learn how to become men from? Was it from things that we seen on TV, hip hop, or in our neighborhoods? You understand what I mean?
I think I
So
think it's
with nowadays generation, so you really not be you're really not learning how to become a man, not just from your neighborhood. You have the internet which influences you, music, videos. You understand what I mean? So a
Yes.
nigga that's a nigga that's down south can go on the internet and learn everything about New York and not be from New York. And you understand what I mean? And that's his mentality. Maybe because he's hooked on to certain rappers or something like that. So you understand what I mean? So it's not really
Yeah.
from your neighborhood. So you understand what I mean? So it's like neighborhoods aren't raising these young men anymore. Some are,
No.
but so I think technology plays a lot in how the younger generations is coming up because everything is YouTube videos. You understand what I mean?
Everything.
what
Movies.
was
Everything,
the
bro.
question?
What I'm
Where
where
did
saying
did your
is,
influence come from to
yeah,
be
like how
to
where
be a
did it
man?
switch?
where do we learn to be
Yeah,
men?
you understand what I mean? So now you got everything happening like with kids getting killed and all that. You know what I mean? But back then it was like the younger generations back there and the Martin Luther King, like they carried themselves a certain way. You understand what I mean? Based on where you was from. A nigga from Alabama was like, Emmett Till was from Chicago. He went down south, so he acted certain. You know what I mean? So who was raising these young men to become men and all of that? Like, what was the influence coming from?
Back then, you talking about what was the
Yeah,
influence
from
back
back
then?
then all the way to now. Like, you understand? Like, you see the difference though?
Yeah, I see. I mean, it's a big difference. Um,
So now, like, you got all these kids being killed. You understand? All these young kids being killed. All
I
they
don't
trying
live
to
in a
do is just become a kid. You understand what I mean? It's the
Yeah. I
culture.
don't
They
live in a
just
big city. I don't live in a big
yeah,
city. They are DC, New York. You
yeah.
know what I mean? But I'm in like Middle America, Missouri. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
work at the rec center. Feel me
Yeah.
for the city. But there's a young man. He played overseas, and
Mm-hmm.
now he's back home, and he started a nonprofit as more so a mentor group to establish every to establish to the question, how do we men to men? He wants to be able to influence the male, specifically the male generation in this city, on the
Mm-hmm.
right path. You know what I mean? And I can
Yeah.
give 2 3 stories about what he shared with me, but I see him because I'm in the rec center, so I see him like, what you got going on? And he be like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, I need some help, this and that. Oh, I got your back, I'll come up, I'll show. I came and helped him a couple times, pulled up on him. You know what I mean? But that's what it's going to take, people that to mentor the
Mm-hmm.
youth and show them. Like I said, they say if you know better, you do better. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, a lot of these young men have no clue how to be a
Yeah.
man. There's no male figure in their houses, no male figure, in the classrooms. You know what I mean? There was a thing where it said like, when was the first time you had a African American male teacher? You know what I mean? So right now, like, see, even at the university, I was working with the program because we wanted to keep all the males that were pursuing education and streamline them into the education center because they're like endangered. You know, an African American male teacher is not a lot. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
the other African Americans don't males all they don't see that representation as a teacher. Like you said, all they see is athletes and rappers and D boys and all this and that, hood
Yeah.
celebrities. You know what I mean? So that's who they aspire to be. They don't see somebody you know want to be a teacher or want to be like, I just have my father. I just want to be like him. I know he have recognition like Puffy, Jay-Z, but man, you should see how many calls and how many people came to show love to my father. Was stretched out in front of that church, man. People like, he was a legend where we
Yeah.
from, but he put in the work. Like, he didn't have to birth, like he didn't have to, he wasn't a father. He was a father to everybody, but he didn't father them because that wasn't his blood seed. But he made sure that he spoke life into every male that he could encounter. And it didn't have
Hmm.
to be an African American. He just wanted people to be successful. You know what I mean? So that's what it's going to take. You're asking this and that, but more so the mentorship is where it's going to be, because a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of males that's growing up don't have a positive representation of a male in our life, so they don't know, how to be a man, what's a man. They watch TV, they gonna try to impregnate as many women they can, tote carry a gun. Um, not to get off subject, but this is what I want to see when Benga was talking. We already know, you guys know who 42 Doug is, right? He's a
Nah,
rapper, 42 Doug.
Yeah,
nah, I
I
don't
heard
know.
I heard of him, Hog.
So 42 Doug, man, just recently, and I wanted to bring this up at the Benga was talking about, the money, what'd you say? Money,
The the moon spell.
the moon spell, right? 42 Doug he just spent a meal ticket, $1 million in a Mary. That's one of the top brands right now, right? Michael and Mary. And the lady, he had it on the live. Oh, you spent $1 million. We just gave you a free T-shirt. He like, what, a free T-shirt? He was hyped. You know what I mean? He spent a meal ticket. And so in Detroit, that's the city he's from. There's a group called New Era Detroit, and he made a post underneath Doug's thing like, I wish I'd never seen this. He said, we just spent money out of our pocket. We just took 30 kids that was sleeping on the side of the road, feel me, in hotels because it's cold. But this
Hmm.
man out here spending $1 million on clothes, and he from our city. But then when you do your Thanksgiving giveaways, turkey giveaways, you act like you for the people, you act like you for the hood, but you don't do that. Like you said, the moon spell got everybody blinded by what's really going on. You spend a meal ticket for some clothes, bro. You know what I mean? And you find solace in that, and they play you and give you a free T-shirt. What they saying? Everybody, the internet going crazy. I meant to put it in the text, but I'll send it to y'all.
Wow.
It probably costs $10 to manufacture that T-shirt. You know what I mean? We give you a free T-shirt after you spend a meal ticket with us. You know what I
It's
mean? But
it's all
again,
marketing. Yeah,
but
that's
again, but again with Doug, because I like his music, I listen to his music. He's a good rapper and all that. But even in his mind, it's mixed up. Like, that's power to him. I can flex like that, where he can put that back into his community. Not saying put the whole meal, but if you're gonna waste it like that, why not sow that into your community, or sow that into the youth, or build a school, or do whatever, something
Hey yo,
different. You know what I
that nigga
mean?
ain't spent
hey
really
yo,
spent no meal in that store. That shit's a publicity stunt.
that nigga
Just
Either
spent
to
way,
that
boost the
mill.
either
You
brand.
way,
bugging out,
either
I know
pop.
what
way,
you're talking
either
about. No, I know what you're talking about, Hug.
That nigga
You
spent that
100 right.
mill, pop. You bugging out.
No,
He
he
spent
didn't.
that
He didn't
million
spend that
dollars.
meal. That's all the record company. It's all promote to promote that brand so other dumb niggas could think, oh yeah, I want to shop there. Cause
And
and
th-
this
that's what
nigga,
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying,
that's
Pop.
this the
Going back to your
perception. He really
question,
that he didn't spend $1 million in that
we don't
store
know,
like Tupac.
yo, my nigga. If
It's
the
yeah.
recording from the store said it, they didn't make up the recording though.
They
Think
did
about it.
all that shit is that brand. I'm
I'm
telling you, for
finna
that brand,
I'm
it's.
finna
I
send
don't think
that
he
after
spent a
this
million
tonight. I'm
dollars.
gonna put it in a text so y'all can see what's going on. And tag y'all,
Okay.
whatever, this and that. But that's what's going on because, like you said, but that is, to Pop's point, that is what's being pushed as perception into
Yeah.
our African American males, this is power. This is what you do when you
Exactly.
get
Yeah.
money.
We
You know
ain't.
what I mean? This is
Yeah.
what's messing up the mind. Where it's like,
Yeah.
that's being pushed and forced on us. Get money, get women. Pop pills. You understand what I'm saying? And that's really deterring the growth. Like all of us, man. We 40 years old, married, or we got women. We kind of settled down in our ways. You know what I mean? So we can have these conversations. But when you're a young man, you having this, you don't have the discretion to make the right decision. So you're going to be heavily influenced, by what's perceived as, what I mean, what
Yo,
you're supposed to do as a top dog.
yo,
Yeah. Yeah.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected, Pop. Cause I just looked up this nigga um
Or two.
on Google. Now, if he did, man, this nigga put the capital I in ignorant because his net worth allegedly is only worth 2 million. So if he
Yeah. That
did
shit.
spend a million
It's,
dollars on Michael and Mary or whatever that issue is, because I ain't never had it. I hear niggas talking about it, but you know what I'm saying? But like if he did, then I ain't only worth $1 million. Like, I mean, he it says like 250,000 annual, whatever. They doing their shows or whatever. We really ain't into the habit of
yeah. That
even
nigga
talk
ain't
about
spending
other
that money.
people's money. But just for the sake of this, like we doing, like what we doing, basically. You know what I'm saying? You do have a major point right there, Pop. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm
I know.
saying?
I understand
Because
my.
that doesn't even make sense. Like
Yeah.
now, that's not to say that it didn't happen, because we know how ignorant niggas are.
Nah.
But
It's.
but
Listen. I could tell
that
you how.
does make a lot of sense what you said. Now that
Yeah.
you know what I'm
It's
saying, you
trickery
check.
on the brand. It's the record company, the brands. All of these people are operating under the same umbrella.
Working
Have
together.
this dumb nigga go here act like he spent 1 million. All they trying to do is have other. You understand what I mean? That's all it is. He ain't spend no million in there.
But the reason why I brought it up is is
Yeah.
to put it on the table is like, okay, now we got this young man, wherever he spent,
Yeah.
he could have spent thousands, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and the new Air Detroit guy said, we know everybody's not going to be activists in the city and all this and that. Not to say this, but what responsibility do these figures have to to influence the other young men that's looking at this and thinking that's cool in a better direction? You know what I mean? That's the point that I was trying to get there
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
far as the
Yeah.
moon spell, because that's all it is. It's a part of the moon spell. It's a left hand thing, because if he spent it or not, Michael and Mary, his stock just went up because 42 just 42 name all around the community. But the point was, the man was saying, hey, we just put 30 kids in a hotel.
The
We coming out
hotel
of
one.
pocket, and you
Yeah.
out tricking money like this. Come on, man, we could do better. You know what I mean? And he was sick. He
Damn.
said, man, I wish I never saw nothing like this. You know what I mean? I would bet better out not even seeing this, because I'm out here on the front line for real. Me and my crew is trying to make a change in these young jits' lives for real. You know what I mean?
Yo,
And you out here playing around.
and then also on that note, man, I mean, we more saw that collective mind state over here on this side. But like also, bro, when they not in our lane, bro, ain't no need to us even to direct attention to them. That's the other thing. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, if
Yeah.
if if they not in our lane or in our headspace, or basically, it's God time or demon time. So if they on demon time or whatever, then you know what I'm saying. They not even, you know what I mean? Like, we don't even have to exude a lot of energy. That's what I'm learning. That's what I'm
Right.
learning about myself now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then it goes back to what you said earlier, Hog, about the future and the past. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
then it's like a stagnation. Because the dudes, like he from our city and he not doing this. Okay. But the blessing is that y'all are doing it. Because y'all saying something about him ain't gonna make him do it.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't gonna make him do it. It ain't gonna hurt him, because he obviously don't care at the end of the day. But it's a blessing that y'all are doing what y'all doing, though. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying to you? It's a blessing that y'all are doing. Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's like what we were saying before about the houses, the households, and the families and everything. Average nigga, like, ain't even taking care of their own household, own family structure, their own legacy at the
That's
end of
right.
the day. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Yeah, man. But everything that we saying collectively is all on the same page. It all, and then also as far as the marketing strategy for that whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have the recording, they connect like what you said, Pop. It makes perfect sense. Okay, he's the artist. Then you got the label behind him. The label connects with the brand. The brand that he went to. Listen, we
Mhm.
gonna pay you or whatever for this recording. As an example, boom, we gonna set this up, whatever. Like, and then off of that recording and them feeling or thinking that he spent that, then everybody that want to be like him or whatever the case may be, like we saying, goes and runs that brand name up, basically.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Just adds more money to that individual stock for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, how earlier they stock went up after that post, after all of
Mhm.
that energy towards them. You get what I'm saying? It didn't go
Sure enough.
down. It didn't
Word.
go down. You get what I'm saying? It went up, and it went up from people that didn't really have it for it to go up.
That's a
Like
fact.
they're not invested in the shares of the company. So like instead of y'all telling these kids to go out and buy these brand names, why don't y'all tell these kids to go out and get shares in the brand name that y'all got on?
He say not only that, this is
Y'all
crazy.
getting money off of the brand names that y'all wearing and y'all saying, because Hove and not like old heads taught y'all, don't be talk about these brand names if you ain't getting a check from them, right? So
Mhm.
why you not teaching them how to go out and get shares in these companies as opposed to just spending money? You know what I'm saying, on the brands at the end of the day. Like, that's what I was saying earlier about the whole everyone coming together now. Like I see through a lot of that a lot of times, man, and that's what irks me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's things that can can be done regularly. But if you are part of the system, you are part of the system. And a lot of these dudes is a part of the system. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to separate from the establishment. And that's what the problem is. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Back
the
to the
biggest
moon
problem.
spell. Back to the moon spell, the greed. You know what I'm saying? It's like back in the day when they did money, power, respect. I always said you earn your respect, that enables you to obtain the power, and then that's when you get the money. So it's really respect, power, and money. It ain't money. That's the moon spell. Money, power, respect. So you buying power and respect with money?
What Scarface? What Scarface told Manolo when they was on that beach when that girl smacked him.
Oh, about the bread. Yeah. He was
So
talking
you
about
gotta
the
get the
bread when he
money. He
went over
said,
there
"Oh,
and he
that's
Get
no
stuck
that
his
tongue."
money, then
he
you
he
get your
flung he flung his tongue at her. She was laying on the beach chair. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He
Scarface. That's where it's coming from. Like you said, you gotta get the money first, man. All that other stuff gonna come. Let's get this money, and they gonna run to us after that. You feel me? And so
I
that's where
but
everybody. That's what everybody's in pursuit of, man. You know what I'm saying? This bread, this bread, this bread. And they think that's gonna solve their problems. You know what I'm saying? But I try to encourage, because listen, man, I mean, I could use a whole bunch of money right now, you know what I'm saying? But I try to encourage the people, you know what I mean, that I interact with. Is like, it's not even about the bread, because we have these millionaires, going back to these big superstars. They pop pills and they drink, they smoke all day. So it's not, the money does not bring peace. It does not bring happiness. You know what I'm saying? They have these things, they on the borderline killing themselves. You know what I mean? So it's like, it ain't really about the money. It's just this, it's a facade. You know what I mean? Troy Ave got this song called "The Streets Is a Myth." You know what I mean? But that's how I feel like it's about this bread too. Cause like I always say I want to be content. You know what I mean? Like I don't be have to bust the bank off and all this and that. But I want to be able to help people. So if I could, without hurting me, and take care of the bills and make sure hey, my kids want some sneakers that I can buy without hurting. Like I don't gotta have all the money in the world, but if I did, I know I'd be more philanthropy philanthropist, because I know you can't take it with you. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, like, I try to get them to realize, like, look at the richest nigga right now. All these guys, they borderline suicidal. They gotta pop pills to be happy. They gotta drink. They gotta drink lean to get any kind of peace in their life. So it's not in the bread. You know what I mean? It's not in the money. You know what I mean? You got to have peace within your soul and your heart and your mind to really make it make sense. You dig what I'm saying?
yeah, you need
Mm-hmm.
that. You need if your values, your morals, your integrity if that ain't all together, man, that money ain't gonna do nothing for you, right, Hog?
Yup.
That
It's
ain't
not
gonna
gonna do nothing.
that
I mean,
bread ain't gonna
it's
do
gonna do something. It's gonna do something in the physical, like this and that. But I'm talking about holistically. Nah,
it
that's
ain't gonna do
dead.
nothing for you without them morals, them that integrity, those
Oh
values,
yeah, yeah.
the
Because now
principles
you're
that
willing
you
to sell your
stand on.
soul for it. Yeah, because now you would do any if you do anything for the money, you in a bad place, man.
Hey
For
yo,
real.
bro, you know one of the illest things, not one of the illest, but you know what's ill, not for nothing, but like not too much off topic. Yo, the kid ASAP said that every time he drops an album, somebody close to him dies. His father died after his first album. ASAP, his homie ASAP died after the second one, and
Yams,
and
yams.
his sister or a female that's close to him died after the third joint.
Dang.
Do you
People
mind
die
getting
every
into the
day.
proverbs? What's the proverb?
Sacrifice. Are you just gonna come in?
No, I've been sitting waiting here. I'm listening, going, yeah, hold on. Let me ask this man with the proverbs of
You
the
think
day.
it's a sacrifice? What's going on, man?
I'm way before the sacrifice. I wanted to channel in some earlier, but I said because it was some banger said, but it was way back. I said I just let it flop. He said something about when he said basically it was a metaphor you made in a reference of like you met an older man, and he said, and we say things haven't changed, and he gave a description of a couple of ways on how maybe financially they started paying the horses a little bit more. So my question was going to be, but like in reality, does that really make this time better, or is it just we're more manageable? They found out, fuck it, before we had them out there slaving, and that might not work for them. Get these niggas a couple of dollars. That works. Let these niggas flash. They think they the man. That's gonna do it.
I mean, how I look at it at the end of the day, and this came to me as you were saying that though. It's all about what you do with whatever is dispensed to you. You get what I'm saying to you? So whatever you know what I'm saying? If it is or was a situation where they like, you know what I'm saying, get them some more bread. At least with that more bread that we've been able to get, we should have or would have been able to do something with it, like by now. Like if everyone or if the collective didn't want to stay a part of the system, if the collective didn't want to stay a part of the establishment.
But that's
Because
the reason the
let me ask you
collective is
this.
given. That's the
Let,
reason the collective may be given a little bonus, so you can be a part of. You're not allowed to go back. If that's even like how the laws are stated.
yeah,
Like
but
you
we
can't
can't really
just
say that.
you
We
can't make a millionaire. It's not, even if I had 30 million, 40 billion dollars, I can't come to the hood and physically give niggers millions of dollars. Like that's still not allowed. You're not allowed to do that, and like you cannot make a millionaire. Like so, even in that sense, money doesn't mean nothing. Like Hog was saying, like even with him saying, like we might look a little bit more, we might be a little bit more prestige now. Like yeah,
That's
we
what Boston George Daddy said. Money isn't real, George. You know what I mean?
because
yeah, that's a fact. He said that
That's the
in
truth.
Blow. That's a fact. He told him that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he told him that. But
that's
check
what I'm
it. I
saying.
wanted to ask this though. So like what was the time frame for Black Wall Street? What was that time frame back there in Oklahoma when Black Wall Street was created, from its creation as it was known to when they dropped the bombs on it that
Mm,
day? Do we know what was that time frame? Like
nah.
what year of history that was in?
not offhand, but
Like
All right.
a
So
look.
I was asking, huh?
Oh, I was. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now I was saying that to say, kind of like to touch on what we saying now. So we talking about how all these opportunities are being given now, though, right? But like at the end of the day, there are certain, there's a certain town down in the Carolinas, right? Maybe it's North Carolina, I think. Like to this day, it's still an all black town. Like You get what
I've
I'm
heard
saying?
of
Kind
it.
of like
I've heard of
another
it.
Black
Yeah.
Wall Street in a sense,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just not calling it that or saying it's that, but it's another town. But I'm just saying that to say, bro, we're in 2022 now. Like, so like if they were able to put together and build a Black Wall Street back then, when they didn't even have the levels of education opportunities or
Right.
technology or whatever the case may be, if they were able to do that back then, if Madam C.J. Walker was able to be a very poor child, come up in poverty, and then based upon her struggle become one of the first Black millionaires, let alone a Black woman, a female at that, in America,
It was
then
destroyed.
in 2022, with all the opportunities and everything that we have afforded to us, all man, listen, man.
May 31st
But
and June 1st,
that goes back into
1921,
what
Black Wall Street was destroyed.
All right, 1921, it
that
was
goes back.
destroyed. That's 8 years before the stock market crash. But when was it formed originally? When was it birthed?
Okay, hold on.
What were you saying, Hog? My
But
fault.
this goes back to what Bam was asking about, fam. Like he was asking, what's the difference between now? Is it better now? Is it not better than before? And I would say the only thing why it's not better because we will not. It's power and life and death of the tongue. I'm not going to say we will not. I don't see the ability to have the similar unity as back then. Like you said, they were able to boycott together. They were able to get money together. Like you said, make millionaires. C.J. Walker was able to do that because everyone went and spent money with her. You know what I'm saying? I remember when my man Bam had the black dot beanies. I was like, yo, let me get one of those. I want to support what he had going
Mm-hmm.
on. But no one, no one, no one's gonna get behind that. You know, like they have the things right now. Like they go to Amiri and spend 2,000 on some jeans, but if I'm selling a hoodie for $50, they're gonna want a discount. You know what I
A
mean?
nigga just
So it's
made a
like we
post
don't
like
have the
that.
ability to unify. We don't have the ability to unify like the African American did back then. You know what I'm
You
saying?
won't
It's
even
always gonna be
share
some
or like.
hating, or they're not gonna get on the same page. You know what I mean? So that's why I say it's definitely not gonna be the same. It's worse now because it's harder to get black people together on the same page, man.
Yo, that's bananas. And then look what we saying, bro. Then when we doing the knowledge to the chronological order of history, we go back to the Willie Lynch letter. The Willie Lynch letter was inseminated around that time. Like back then, like Black Wall Street, like you get what I'm saying. And even in the midst of that, like there was still pockets of areas of people that were still thriving in a certain mind frame, and that's that lane
Mm-hmm.
that kept everything collective or kept the movement, kept the energy going. And then the other half of the people or what have you, not people specifically, but that energy is that other half of that energy fell off
There was a
basically, and
pride.
that's the
Nah, it was
There was a
200
pride.
years later
There was a
too.
pride in being black back then. You
And
know what I'm
May
saying?
30th, I'm sorry, May 30th, 1921 is when they was established.
it was when it was established or it was
Yeah,
bombed.
that's when it was established. It said, I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh,
The
oh,
morning
okay.
of May 20th.
1921.
Yeah.
All right, and then they bombed it when? What year was it destroyed?
Hold up.
But Banger, why he get that information? That's what I was saying. Like there was a pride in being black back then, man. That that
It's like
would
after
not
that
be
60s run,
reestablished.
Hog.
That's
Not even
what
to
I'm
cut you off.
saying. That's what I was. That's
Not
the point I was
we
question.
touched
I
on
was
that
trying.
too. We touched on that too. It's like after that 60s run, Hog. It's like after they assassinated so many leaders that they did back then in that realm, Black Panther leaders, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King,
Mhm.
Kennedy, like you get what I'm saying? Like after all of that, bro, it's like they numbed the population of like you get what I'm saying? And yeah, and ever since then, like who's been a major leader?
Nobody, man. Like
You
even
talking
like
about
they like
after
you said,
after
Comrade
Malcolm?
Muhammad is
You had
gone. Yeah,
Garvey before them. You know what I mean? But it's like say for example, Dr. Umar. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying Dr. Umar because, but we know what he's about. He's about the bread or whatever. But I think he's a little off in my personal opinion. You know what I
word.
mean? But he's for the Pan African, and he's a big Marvy. I mean, excuse me, Garvey. That's one of his. Like he gonna name one of his schools after that. You know what I mean? But there's some people that think that what his motivation is in the right process, but it shouldn't take you this long to establish XYZ. But he's saying it's because of people not getting behind him. But you've been able to raise millions and millions of dollars and not make no moves up to this point. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
so the people that are on this pedestal or we do be able to raise up, they either shoot themselves in the foot themselves or they begin to have access to so much more and they find themselves in a you know what I mean? It might be women. You got tripped up because of women. Now you got the money and now you getting tripped
I
up
heard
because of the
that's what
drugs or you know
happens.
what I mean?
I heard that's what happens once you
So
get
it's
to a
like
certain point. They start throwing little stuff at you. So when they start throwing,
so you
because
know
they already know your weaknesses. So picture this. So yeah, they already know your weaknesses. Like they done been through your file. So it's like as you rising, then they start throwing little darts in your way of things that they know, or they may come to you and try to use something to yeah. So yeah,
and just like you said, and some people actually sell out. You know what I mean? I remember
yeah,
when Pop we was back when Pop was rapping, he would say something about he hate Al Sharpton. Pop hate Sharpton, you know what I'm saying? He put some Sharpton's a clown, you know, say something about Jesse Jackson, you know what I mean? Because feel like they have sold out. Hey man, here's some money and go
yeah,
say this for us.
yeah,
And you know what I'm saying? Here's some money.
yeah,
Go
man.
stand or you know what I mean? And
Man,
you got these people that have established themselves as prominent figures, but they have no correlation or no loyalty to really the grassroots struggle for real. They just have this face and this voice that's recognizable, and they use that for their own gain. You know what I mean? So it's a crazy cycle, man. That you're really gonna have to have the ability to determine, or who's really about what they're saying. You know what I mean? Because eventually, I mean, don't let me get me wrong. Because we're men, we're in flesh. We're fallible. There's no one perfect. You know what I mean? So I can't even say certain situations. I be disappointed in myself. Like, man, I knew I shouldn't have did that. You know what I mean? I knew I could have made a better decision in that sense. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying people are can't make mistakes, but the reoccurrence of it is like we have to learn from mistakes and then turn the other way and go and say, okay, let's do better. I don't want to put myself in a situation that I'm not going to be successful. You know what I mean? That's what they call emotional intelligence, EI. You know what I mean? Like if I know I got problems over here, I don't need to go that way. You know what I'm saying? I'll
Mhm.
send somebody to represent me and what we got going on. I don't go there because I probably not strong enough to even be in that, vicinity right now. And we gotta have people that has that type of accountability, that self control to do that. You know what I mean? But what I'm telling you, banger man, for real. But there's nobody who wants to take that driver role. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be that leader because I'm gonna get it myself. I'm gonna do just for me and my family. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going back to the unity thing. It's like I'm just thinking I'm just surviving for me. You know what I mean? I don't care about what's going on. See what I'm saying? That's how people are thinking right now.
now that's a fact, and that's what we were saying earlier about the deaths and everything. Because the general mindset would be that wasn't my child or that wasn't my man. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we still losing soldiers. It's still someone's family. You get what I'm saying to you? And we all
Exactly.
connected at the end of the day. I'm about to get into this proverb, and then I was gonna do the psalm after. All right. But we could build on the
Cool.
proverbs first. However, whichever way y'all want to do it, just let me know.
What's today?
Nah, you the reader, man. Just let us know.
Proverbs 16.
All right.
All right, so and this is a 33 verse. Um, the preparations of the heart belong to man, but the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All ways of a man are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirits. Commit your works to the Lord, and your thoughts will be established. The Lord has made all for himself, yes, even the wicked for the day of doom. Everyone is proud, everyone proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though they join forces, none will go unpunished. In mercy and truth, atonement is provided for iniquity, and by the fear of the Lord, one departs from evil. When a man's ways please the Lord, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. Better is a little with righteousness than vast revenues without justice. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. Divination is on the lips of the king. His mouth must not transgress in judgment. Honest weights and scales are the Lord's. All the weights in the bag are his work. It is an abomination for kings to commit wickedness, for a throne is established by righteousness. Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and they love him who speaks what is right. As messengers of death is the king's wrath, but a wise man will appease it. In the light of the king's face is life, and his favor is like a cloud of the latter rain. How much better to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding is to be chosen rather than silver. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He who keeps his way preserves his soul. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. He who heeds the word wisely will find good, and whoever trusts in the Lord, happy is he. The wise in heart will be called prudent, and sweetness of the lips increases learning. Understanding is a wellspring of life to him who has it, but the correction of fools is folly. The heart of the wise teaches his mouth and adds learning to his lips. Pleasant words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the bones. There is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. The person who labors for himself, for his hungry mouth drives him on. An ungodly man digs up evil, and it is on his lips like a burning fire. A perverse man sows strife, and a whisperer separates the best of friends. A violent man entices his neighbor and leads him in a way that is not good. He winks his eye to devise perverse things. He purses his lips and brings about evil. The silver-haired head is a crown of glory, if it is found in the way of righteousness. He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his spirit than he who takes a city. The lot is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from the Lord. This is a reading unto the Lord. Thanks be to the word of God. Amen.
Him who is slow in what
Give
is
me one.
mighty.
Give me 1 second.
The last.
He who is slow to anger is
Slow
better
to
than the
anger
mighty,
is
and
better
he
than the
who
mighty.
rules his spirit than he who takes a city.
Have control over self.
Yes.
So
Control over self. That's what I get out of it.
let me slide into Psalm 16. It's 11 verses. It says, "Preserve me, O God, for in you I put my trust. O my soul, you have said to the Lord, you are my Lord. My goodness is nothing apart from you. As for the saints who are on the earth, they are the excellent ones, in whom is all my delight. Their sorrow shall be multiplied who hasten after another God. Their drink offerings of blood I will not offer, nor take up their names on my lips. O Lord, you are the portion of my inheritance and my cup. You maintain my lot. The lines have fallen to me in pleasant places. Yes, I have a good inheritance. I will bless the Lord who has given me counsel. My heart also instructs me in the night seasons. I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Therefore, my heart is glad and my glory rejoices. My flesh also will rest in hope. For you will not leave my soul in Sheol, nor will you allow your Holy One to see corruption. You will show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore. This is a reading unto the Lord. Thanks be to the word of God. Amen. So, what I
Hey,
wanted to ask you, Hog, like, do you know what it means, or what it, like, what is it when it talks about, like, in Proverbs 16, the last scripture, the last verse rather, 33, it says the lot is cast into the lap, but its every decision is
Mhm.
from the Lord. And then in Psalm 16 verse 5, it says, "O Lord, you are the portions of my inheritance and my cup. You maintain my lot." Do you know what that means, or what they're referencing to when they?
Well, the the one in Proverbs, the lot is cast into the lap. That's like that's like rolling the dice. You know what I mean? Like you put it in chance. You know what I mean? Like when they cast lots in the Bible time is when they was gambling. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
That's
So the
bananas.
lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing of the Lord's like the Lord, like you gambling, but the God still you gambling
Even
physically,
God has
but God,
control of that, right?
you see what I'm saying?
That's fine.
But
Even
this
God
next
has
verse will say
control of
in
those
5,
odds, basically, right?
yes, the Lord is a portion of my inheritance and my cup, thou maintainest my lot. So in this I'm taking it as the Lord is a portion of my is a inheritance of my cup. It's like it's the same thing. Like you maintain is what I have. Um like the first verse, it talks about preserve me, oh God, in thee I put my trust. And so everything I'm doing for you, God, you know what I'm saying? You're going to preserve my lot, like what is in my possession. You see what I'm
Like
saying? Like you
like my
are a
legacy,
portion of
my
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 inheritance.
my okay.
You are a portion of my inheritance. I'm doing everything for you. Like whatever you allow me to obtain is because of what you bless me with.
And then also it's David. That's
spiritually,
and then it's also David that's saying this. We have to remember.
Spiritually and
So
physically.
yeah,
Because
spirit.
there's promises, even with the promises, and naturally too, land, because there's promises that come with the just pure obedience to God. You know what I mean? There's blessings that come with being obedient. You feel me? So spiritually, more that I would say spiritually supersedes naturally, but He still wants us to prosper naturally as well. You understand?
Indeed.
yeah,
You
yeah,
feel me?
yeah. I got you.
Yeah, so that's what it is. It's like you are a portion of my inheritance and my cup. Like all I need is you. You know what I mean? But you still, you know, preserved my lot. Whatever you give me, I appreciate. You know what I mean? But I want of you. I want the things as you put of the spirit. You know what I'm saying? I want. They talk about the fruits of the spirit, patience, temperance. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Uh, all those things. Like I want everything that's more rewarding than anything I can have naturally. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it
like
talks about that a
Solomon.
little bit. It talks about that a little bit in that talk about how if we get wisdom, that's more than gold. It talks
Right,
about that in the 16. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to
right.
get understanding rather be chosen of silver? You know what I mean? So it's
Facts.
like, yeah, we're seeking at the goddess and that. I want the things of you spiritually, but like I said, you still get blessings naturally for being obedient and seeking God. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And that is way better than silver and gold. But He still wants us to prosper. We still need money. We still need houses. We still need things to prosper naturally as well. But we don't want that to get lost in that. We still want the things of God, because that's
Yeah,
what's
and I
going to
think that goes
preserve
back
us.
to what we were talking about, just as far as like where we at right now, bro. And it's like they put the money in front of God, and it's like people are thinking, you get what I'm saying? Like they put that label on there. You look at the back of the money, all the science and the emblems that they put on it. So that goes back to what we were saying. Like it really don't mean anything. Like at the end of the day, like you get what I'm saying to you, and like to add on to the moon spell and just all of that, the blockades that go in front, like that goes in between worship with the Lord as well, possessions and things. You get what I'm saying? All
Yeah,
those things.
those are two great. I mean, they really coincided today.
Those the
They
psalm
really
and the
coincided
proverb,
today.
right, bro?
Yeah, yeah, they really coincided today. Those
Yeah,
are two good.
yeah. That's and I didn't. It wasn't to God be the glory because I didn't have any control over that. Like I'm going with the joint of the day.
Of course,
I didn't even read
without
the joint
question.
prior how I was supposed to. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I needed to hear that, man.
You and I both. That's why I asked you about the lot because I wanted to be able to fully grasp. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, yeah. You remember when they was talking about casting lots when they were trying to figure out. I think it was before Jonah. They were casting lots to see what was going on.
Yeah,
That's
on the
gambling.
that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
the
casting lots.
story
You
of
know what I
Jonah.
mean?
I
So
like
that's what
that
that's
joint.
about.
I included that story about Jonah in a speech I was doing on choices. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
On how
right.
God told Jonah to go a certain location. You feel me?
Hmm.
Jonah was on the beach. God told Jonah to go a certain location. Jonah wasn't jacking it. He was like, nah, I'm gonna go over here instead. So next
Yeah,
thing
I'm
you
gonna do what
know,
I gotta do.
yo, he on the ship, the captain, everybody, he pull up on the captain and the crew. He like, yo, listen, I want to go over here. So he get on the boat, he down in the bottom of the boat. Next thing you know, they come down in the bottom of the boat. They like, yo, where did you come from? What did you do, man? What's going on?
Yes. Who are
Like,
you?
yeah, what's going on? We ain't never seen anything like this before, man. You like bad luck or
Yeah,
something. And he like, oh man,
yeah,
y'all right. I messed up because God told me to go the whole other direction. You know what?
yeah,
I'm gonna save y'all from this. And he jumps off the boat, like jumps off
yeah.
the boat into
They
the
threw him
sea,
off. Yeah.
into the storm, into the waves and everything. And the weight
Hmm.
and the whale comes. The whale comes
Hmm.
and basically he's in the mouth in the belly of the whale at the time. You know, so that's like his repentance. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like his repentance.
Yeah,
And then and in the course of his repentance, you feel what I'm saying? Then everything turns back around and he gets to the destination. When he comes out of the belly of the whale, he's where God intended him to be, basically, where he was
Duh.
supposed to have gone. Yo, what up though? Yo,
What's the
this my
deal?
fam,
what's
this
good
my
with you?
fam right here pulling up from the D. And we was
Hey,
just
what's going
talking
on,
about
bro? How you
Detroit.
doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Everything all right?
Hey,
Ain't
yo,
no
Click,
complaint.
introduce yourself to the people, man, and tell them who you are. Let them know what y'all doing out there in the D, 8400 and all that good
Yeah.
stuff, man.
Detroit, 8400.
Word.
We on that.
Hey, my man. We
We
just
cool
I
though.
just asked a question. My name Hog, brother. I just asked a question. You from Detroit?
Yes, sir.
Hey, chime in a little bit about what's going on with 42 and New Era Detroit out there. You know what I mean? How they say Doug spent $1 million in a Miri, but my man from New Era Detroit was like, "Hey, yo, why? We out here on the front line putting people in hotels. What was the city saying about that, man?"
And then we was just talk about that last night too, cuz you was just saying
Yeah.
that.
Like really, like all that photo and all that. Like I don't really be getting too much into that because they ain't really here no more.
Yeah,
So it's like I don't really know, man. It ain't really no thing with them. I mean, they doing them on their side.
right, right. You're not even in
We
a city
doing,
like that, so that make a little more sense
yeah,
too.
right. Well, I mean, you can't really pinpoint nothing that's nothing because everybody just don't really be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
So I
break
don't know
down,
where they at or located at now or none of that. But I don't really, you
break down
know.
So your whole thing is basically they can't talk no shit because 42 is not in Detroit neither no more.
I mean, yeah, like that's the goal though, right? Get it and get the fuck on. I mean, I don't know if I can cuss on here, but
Now you good?
yeah. I mean, that's the point though. Shit. We get it and get the fuck on, bro. We ain't really trying to stay around
but in the sense, But in the sense of
Yeah.
how we talk though, cuzzo, as far as like there's dudes that get the bag, they get signed, they don't come back to the hood, put anybody on, they
Oh
not
yeah,
helping
none
out the
of
hood.
them.
As far as that
Yeah.
goes, that's what we
I
need.
mean, like far as they said, like they said, be looking out for they people. You know what I mean? Our side, West side, shit, like they ain't looking out for nobody. Like they ain't really ain't nobody from here put nobody on. To be real,
Even
like we
Trey,
ain't
even I thought Trey was like y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Trey. Who was that?
Trey Truth. Trey Truth, Detroit,
No,
ain't he?
Nah,
no, he
Trick
from
is
Houston.
Detroit. Trick
Uh
Detroit.
yeah,
Eminem
yeah, yeah,
Detroit.
yeah. Trick.
Uh,
Yeah, Trick. Okay, yeah, Trick.
No man, Trick ain't
he ain't
Trick taking
Detroit.
care of what he take care of. Yeah, he Detroit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right, squad. I know they Detroit.
yeah, that's
Emin-
all Goon Squad and all that. Man, them boys, they do what they do over there. We don't be
mhm.
over there though.
Oh, you on another
Word,
Yeah,
side?
word, word.
yeah, I'm on the west side.
Oh, you know we don't know the difference. We in New York right now. He said that
Ah,
to us
And
the
that's
west
fire.
side could be one block.
And that's
It
fire.
Oh
could be
man,
one block from the west to the east.
Yeah, we checking in 5 different locations right now. That's fire. So yeah, break down like the side. So you on the west side. So what's
yeah,
going on?
west side. Like, what go on where I'm at?
Yeah, like I'm saying, just as far as your city, like tell us about your city because we haven't been there. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. I mean, as far as this is just know what you doing. This ain't the place to come and get lost though, or nothing like that. You know what I
right.
mean? Yeah, but yeah, like you do what you do down here.
What's
And
the
I ain't gonna just say you come down here and it's gonna be all love.
Yeah, when like earlier before you had pulled up, we was talking about like the New York drill scene and like and everything that's going on out here. It's a lot of violence that's been behind the New York drill scene in Chicago. So like out there in the D, as far as like the music goes and everything, is it like rap beefs that happen a lot out there or like
Like it's like with out here, like it ain't really all that. Like we ain't doing the drill music and all that out
no, I
here.
know y'all not on drill, so I'm saying, what's your thing out there in the D? Like, you get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And we ain't really got no thing. Everybody just do them.
Fact. So as far as 8400 and y'all go, your sound and what you bringing to the people, you know what I'm saying? What separates
Mm,
8400 from everyone else?
shit. Loyalty over love, man. That's what
Loyalty over
do
love. Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's what do it. To be real, like
Nah, I
I don't know,
definitely.
like I don't really, man. This shit gets so crazy. It ain't really no way to sum up nothing around this motherfucker because you can't be sure about nothing for real.
Now, also before you pulled up, bro, we was talking about like basically we put it in the phrase of like the moon spell, like how the money is got everyone. Remember, we was just building the other night, and you was saying how
Yeah,
dudes don't be having money, they feeling like they ain't even worth nothing. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? How they got us trapped with the money and all that kind of thing.
yeah.
Remember, we was just building on that, right?
Really, it's the money everywhere you go, though, fam. Don't
Yeah,
nobody care about nothing, man. That's why loyalty's so important. You feel me?
yeah.
Man, money do all of it. That's why it's the root to all this shit. Everybody be making all these theories, but like, far as what I see from where I'm at, my vantage point, like, people really stupid as fuck. Not being crazy, but they really are, man.
Nah, I feel you.
Not saying everybody just fucking dumb, just saying like certain theories and all the shit people be having. Like, really, man, it's like y'all been to prison, right?
No, I ain't never sat down.
I sat down for a millisecond. You know that already.
Right.
Nigga,
So it's like you know how it is. Like you go to prison, you know how it ain't what you thought it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like you hear stories and all that bullshit, but when you really go, you be like, man,
Yeah.
hell no. Like I thought this shit was about to be, you know what I'm saying? A lot of this shit like that out here too, man. I ain't really know, like in Detroit, it's love, but it ain't really like how it really supposed to be. Like the side we come from, like Joy Roll, all that shit. This shit real though, man. Like we ain't gonna lie to y'all or say I know fake shit.
We
Like
talked a little bit about that earlier too, man. Talk about a little bit. Do you think that within the black community is there going to be a way to establish unity? You know what I mean? Or is it like you said, you just gonna stay West Side and worry about that? Or do you think it's gonna be? Are we gonna be able to establish unity collectively again and get to the times of Black Wall Street or Black Panther, something like that, to have something really that really people can really join? Like you talked about love over loyalty. You know what I mean? That's connect a
yeah.
little bit, but do you think we're able to have a
Loyalty
unif?
over love.
Yeah, that's what I said. But I'm saying, but you think as far as the black community, we're able to get back to that unified state?
Like the week. Yeah, I mean, as far as the black people, we always can reconnect. It's just the things that we feel obligated to that make us don't do it. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
right.
People do things and do things. Right? We could come together if it wasn't. They put the money between us. It's always the money, man.
Right.
It's always they put that between us, and that's what corrupt us. You know.
Yeah, I agree with you
But
on that.
really like in Detroit, man, it ain't really. It's all real. Everything real, man. Don't let them deceive y'all. Like I know y'all be seeing like the other side and all that. Like this ain't no Eminem state. It ain't no really ain't no bullies here. Ain't nobody really running the city. It ain't really. It's bad, but it's only bad for you if you ain't really who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like. It ain't. We can all come back together if we just do some real shit. You know what I'm saying? That's like we doing this New York, Detroit thing right now. Like
Yeah.
it'll be a blessing. Like nigga, we all can. Then y'all could come down here. You know, we got a studio. We got all that too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all love, cuz no. You know what I mean? We still working. Like it's just we hate to promote each other and build each other's brand. You know what I'm
You
saying?
was just
That's
saying
what.
that, Pop. I mean, you was just talking about that, right, Hog?
Yeah.
We was when I mentioned Madam C.J. Walker and how people were supporting her brand
Yes,
back then, and it's like
Yeah,
we
without
not
question.
supporting each other's brands.
yeah, that's where we go wrong at as a people. It ain't so much we against each other. It's against we against each other rising. It's one thing to
Hmm.
be like, oh, he can do it, I could do it, but it's another thing to be like, he could do it, I could take it from him. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's a
That's
fact.
that's
That's
two
that's
different things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just because you on a platform and think you know what I'm saying, but you always gotta reach back, man. You know, everybody. Look, I come from the hood where. Like you could basically say where T Grizzly come from. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's my hood over there. Joy Road, Ace and Nine. You know what I mean? I come from over that way. But you know, ain't none of them reach back for us. You know what I'm saying? So we can't
Right.
really complain or be mad. We gotta still keep doing what we doing.
facts.
And
No,
we
that's a
in the
fact.
music, we doing all that. It ain't about no money with us. It ain't about no nothing with us. We just real niggas. To be real. Like, this ain't no fake shit going on down here. Like, it's real shit happening, but we need resources just like everybody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody need that reach out. Let's build, man, and get stronger and make it make sense, man. All it takes is a couple people. Like, I love this shit y'all doing.
Like you know what's ill about you even referencing the history of like prison and everything is the barter system. Like collectively,
Hmm.
like right now, the 4 or 5 of us, just with whatever you don't. just how you connected with me, Hog, when I was talking about how I was involved in that reform rally day, you know what I'm saying,
Yes.
for that bill. And then you
Yes.
was like, oh, I got my dude over here, Banger. He's in a whole nother state, bro. And you told him about me and told me about him. You didn't limit it to, oh, if you was out here, then you could have done this. You just acted upon it.
Right.
So it's the same thing that you saying
Right.
right there, bro. You know what I'm saying, Click? It's the same thing as far as
Yeah.
like just bartering. Let's, you know what I'm saying, just networking, just starting
Right.
with the
Right.
small pocket, because we got 5 different areas right now tonight. You get what I'm saying? Let alone
Right.
the other nights and everything. But this is 5 different. So just this little bit right here. You get what I'm saying? And then earlier, what I was saying, the ones that's not on it or not in our lane, we ain't even got to give them a thought. Because if they get on it, they gonna veer in the path. Eventually, we gonna connect. Just mind detect mind, law of attraction. But if they not on it, they ain't going to be in the lane with us anyway at the end of the day. So you know what I'm saying, it ain't
Yeah.
no it,
But see, you know what too though? It all boils down to the same thing too though. It's like they own it, but people follow characters, bro. They don't follow like the real shit. Like you gotta give somebody a character or some type of fake shit for them to even look at you. You know what I'm saying? You can be talking the realest shit, but without a character or somebody that's disrespectful or somebody that's just don't give a fuck and say what they want to say. They looking for that type of shit. They want somebody to put a dress on with this shit too. You know what I'm saying? So it's
We talked
all
about
listen.
what's your name, cuz? What's your name, cuz? I just know he call you cuz. What's your name, homeboy?
Yeah. I'm most king, man.
Okay, King, but check it. So we talked about that too, about the importance of mentorship and us as being older black
Yeah.
males. Are you saying that the youth around your city won't be able to connect with you unless you are a character, or are you being able to connect with dropping jewels and they grasp on what you say as an OG or something like that? But if you're not
Yeah.
no character, you don't got no dress on, they ain't gonna
Yeah.
listen. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah. It's like that. It's like that's like a few people come from our city and be like they be motherfucking 100 people from here can rap, but use the same beat somebody else from here did. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no more originality. Ain't no
no individualism.
like you know what happened. Like a lot of the OGs, like my hood, like we all went to prison at the same time. So it's like we left that whole younger generation
Right.
fucked up. Like when we was coming up, like we had spots and shit like that to roll
Yes.
in and get paid. We ain't leave that for them. We all went to prison and niggas
But
killed our OGs and shit like that. You know,
where you at right now in the
where you
stage of
was
life?
down
Do
there
you,
for?
even though that you experienced that, do you feel like you still have something to share to the young men, or do you just don't even say that because you experienced that, or do
Hmm.
you think they just not gonna listen to you?
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit of both in that sense because it's like you the young dudes here really they the ones, man. It's hard. You can't talk to them. You really can't tell them nothing. Like I got grown sons, and it's hard to tell them anything.
Yeah, yeah, I
You
hear
know
you.
what
I
I'm
hear you.
saying?
Right,
So it's like, yeah, you can reach them, but they listening to it different. We ain't have all this access when we was younger, like
right.
YouTube, or
Yeah.
so they got different holds on things. When they looking at it totally different than we is, they following characters and people they think superheroes.
That's what we was talking about earlier, man. Well, let me say this to you, man. Encourage you. You know what I mean? I mean, we ain't stopping at nothing, but yo, King, listen, man. You have a validity to your life experiences, right? And so,
Yeah.
even if you feel like I'll share with the homeboys earlier today, even if you feel like they not listening, continue to share your story because they say you throw enough on the wall, something's bound to stick. And if you share your experiences, you share the game you got, somebody is going to listen. Something's going to connect with somebody that's going to help them.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Like they
So it's
say, you
like,
only need one. You only
yeah,
need
keys
one.
open doors. So if you got some
Uh,
keys, man, and life experience that you live that got these other cats locked up, so you got to share them keys, man, and it's gonna connect to who it's gonna connect to. You know what I mean? So I
right.
just want to encourage you. Don't feel like it's going. it's gonna be in vain. You know what I mean? But just share the game, drop the jewels, and if they use it or not, they pick it up. That's on them. But your hands clean because you shared. You know what I mean? What you were supposed to give because
Right.
you experienced that for a reason. You experienced what you experienced to make sure somebody else don't walk through there and get their shoes dirty through that street. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Right.
that's what I was.
Right.
That's wanted to encourage you to say that, man.
Oh
Hey
yeah,
yo,
that's real. That's real.
hey yo, bro. Hey yo, Click. Let the tell the people know where they can hear 84 music.
Oh yeah. 8400. We
Yeah,
on
8400.
YouTube. We on YouTube. It's in the kitchen right now, but we switching all that, so I don't really want to put a name on it.
All right.
So I'm gonna log back in soon with you, man, and we gonna have all of it right.
All right,
And
most
we
definitely.
gonna
We here Wednesday and Saturdays. You know what I'm saying? So definitely the next round, you know what I'm saying? You definitely feel free to chime in whenever, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bring that D energy from where you at. Talk about what's going on out there because you know what I'm saying? We
Hey,
connected but not
really though,
connected.
yeah, but
So
really, what's going on down here? It ain't all good, so I can't really, you know what I'm saying? It's
but even
really
that needs to
fucked up.
be talked about, the not so good stuff, because then you never know, we may be able to figure out some type of solution even with the not so good stuff. So whatever it is, that's the whole
Hmm.
purpose of be your own therapist. Because even with it not being so good, you
Hmm.
still in there with it not being good. So y'all still
Yeah,
need your therapy. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? Y'all
yeah,
still
for
need your
sure.
connection to
I
pull y'all
like the
up out of
title
there.
too.
Huh?
I like the title too. Be your own therapist.
Yeah. Yeah, good looking. That was land. That was lands right there. Like that was a masterpiece. I had like we all have pain, like collectively for the people of the world. And when he hit me, when he hit me with the be your own therapist, I was like, yo, land, that's fire. That's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's
Yeah,
all
word.
about, especially us as black men. You know what I'm saying? All of us
right,
collectively family oriented. You know what I'm saying? But it's like even
right.
what you just said about your community, bro. How your whole generation went to prison at one time, so all the
Hmm.
younger generation was left out
Yeah,
there
that's
dolo.
wild.
That's Willie Lynch right there in a sense. Like when they come through, you get what I'm saying? There's dudes that's still in prison right now behind the crack era laws. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? The
they is.
Rockefeller
Yeah,
laws. Like they still sitting
right,
in there for one cell or five
right.
or whatever. Like so when that happened,
Then too, even down here, as far as the prison world, like I got a few dudes that was locked up, all that. Like, down here they took the good time away a long time ago, so everybody's serving truth to sentencing. So they
Mm,
need to bring our good time back and make it retroactive, man. Like, it's a lot of good dudes, bro. I fuck with this, and that motherfucker like over their time, like, you know what I'm
right.
saying?
that's
They
bananas.
need
So
to
they have
make
to
that
max
shit
out.
back retroactive, man. No,
So
it's a mandatory. You do your minimum, so if they give you 10 or 20, you got to do 10 for sure. Day for
wow.
day though, ain't no 2 for 1. It's day for day. Like I be looking at all the other cities they be talking about. Like yeah, they getting 14 years doing 7. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
They need to let it.
Coming home with parole.
Yeah.
Y'all have parole out there though, bro?
Yeah, we got parole, we got all that, but it's like that truth to sentencing, it stick you to your mandatory minimum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's bananas. And you was telling me before about that bill they were supposed to pass.
Yeah, they
With
was just talking about a bill that was gonna pass for them with good time, but they ain't said they was gonna make it retroactive to where it's a
It
lot of
could go
dudes will
back.
get
It
out
could
if
go
they
back.
sign that bill.
If it go
If they,
retroactive, mean they could go back. It could add
yeah,
to
and
it could add to people who already been sitting down. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Instead of people that's going to be sentenced after it's signed.
right.
Retroactive. They
See,
can go back. They can go
yeah,
back and
retroactive
it
mean
apply to
they can.
any other body sitting down right now.
Right. We need that right here, right now, man.
Yeah.
How what they doing, man? Our city really paying for flops and shit like that. They flopping everybody. Like they wasting tax money on that shit. And
That's crazy.
motherfuckers out here, they can't even solve a murder. Our police weak as hell.
yo before we go, not even to switch up too much though, click, but like talk about the dilapidation and everything that's going on in the city. remember we didn't have conversations about how there's certain areas of the city out there where there's like houses, like right blocks of houses, the corner stores you was telling me, right?
Oh yeah, man. All this shit dilapidated, man. Like you can go on blocks over here, like Brightmo, all that shit. Like, there's 2, 3 houses on the whole street. This
That's
shit fucked
bananas,
up.
yo. That
Like
that sound like that
it's a
that that
lot of condemned buildings and all that shit. But people out here homeless and fucked up. They can let them fix that shit and live in there. Man, you know how
Right,
many people be dying and shit down here from frostbite and all that bullshit?
right.
and
All these buildings, man. A lot of these bums and shit, they call them.
That's what I was saying. The dude, he was saying they had paid for 30 children that was on the streets. They put them up in the hotels after they seen a new era of Detroit. They said, man, we out here, on the front line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Getting
but
out the
no,
mud.
but look, with them dudes, man, that new era, all that shit, man, them motherfuckers really be, they pop out when something real happen, like somebody get beat at the stove, shit like that. It's all a misconception with all that shit, bro. It's like people pop out when it's beneficial. You supposed to pop out when it ain't or when it is. I be peeping all that shit. They only come out when it's a serious case or something like that. But I got homeboys dead and shit. Them niggas wasn't there.
now
I
see,
peeped that too. They always be popping out.
Yeah,
Them motherfuckers, they always pop out. They pop out all the time. But it be for shit like that. People getting beat up at the stove. Police just shot somebody. Something like that. They don't really be right. Ain't nobody giving nothing back where we at. Nothing. I don't care who it is, whoever they is from here. They ain't came to my hood. They ain't did shit. They ain't went nowhere. Motherfuckers getting on around here getting the fuck on. Like, even our rappers, all that shit, them niggas is scared of their own city. I can name motherfuckers that can't even come back here or ain't coming back here anyway.
for
Like
real, bro.
all that shit be a facade, man. Everybody do what they do. They rich, they living, but ain't nobody they ain't fucking around down here, bro. Life cheaper around this motherfucker. It's different. It ain't that.
yeah, it sound like it. Even when we be on, even when we be on the jack and we building, you know what I'm saying, and you breaking it down. You
Yeah,
telling me about how the young wolves be out there. They be rolling in packs. You said they be
yeah,
having joints. They be having joints on them with drums on the end, right?
yeah, man. These our young niggas out here wild.
That's
They
what my man said.
30 sticks,
That's what my man
all that.
said in Chicago. He said everybody got a drum on their joint. Everybody.
Yeah, it's
And now they
getting
talk about the
crazy.
switches. That's the new thing. The switches. Well, not new, but yeah.
But see, that shit just gonna bring the feds more and more.
What
All
switches? What
that shit.
switches? What's that?
It's
It's some
it,
bullshit you add to your gun to make it do some dumb
So
Oh,
shit.
the
your
You
trigger,
could
automatic.
be
Oh,
doing life.
yeah, the
your
automatic. The
trigger shoot
automatic.
faster.
Yeah, the automatic. It turns
yeah,
into
from
an
semi to
No,
automatic.
fully.
no. Instead of
Yeah,
shooting one bullet,
You
you'll
shooting
be
fully.
shooting like five.
Yeah.
yeah. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I seen some videos of that. That stuff crazy.
Some
And they be
federal shit.
handguns too. That's what be wild.
Yeah,
That's a fact. Yo, so
yeah.
bro, make sure you make sure 8400, man. Make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying, when you pull up.
And we gonna, hey, look, no, we gonna start popping in on y'all, man. But I'm gonna be in the studio, man. We gonna be live with y'all, man. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have a
do that.
couple of my dudes in there, man. We gonna talk some shit to y'all.
Yeah, do that
Word,
so we
word.
could chop it up, man. Like I said, we got to let each other know what's going on around us, man, in these cities where we at. You know what I'm saying? And then,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, we
What about
networking.
down there? What is like down there?
Nigga, this New York City. You already know. It is what it is. New York is the best representation for New York is what can we say?
The
What's
ill thing that
popping?
we got going on right now is that some of the youngins then link with Chicago and they got like their own little drill thing in New York now. So you got like a Brooklyn drill scene and you got a Bronx drill scene. Now we have a black mayor, and we
But
have our first female black police commissioner.
but
So
they
now they like,
Man,
wait a
that
second.
that drill shit don't mean nothing, man. We nigga, all that shit
they
happen every
banning that
day.
shit from the radio in New York though, so they're about to ban that shit.
All right, that shit ain't helping nothing anyway.
I
Them
think it's
niggas playing too much, man. You can't pull up on nobody. People laugh. Come down here laughing about somebody people did and watch what
you go any goddamn where laughing about a
happened.
nigga people dead. I don't care where you at.
Yeah, yeah, definitely here with that type of shit, man. We ain't doing no disrespect.
It's not even about that. You know, now it's shock value. Niggas want to mean something right away. I said that I said that, and then I looked at the video. I said, yo, these niggas ain't lyrical at all. But go on their
Right.
Nah,
YouTube. These niggas know how to crack 1,000,000 with no problem from saying some bullshit.
Yeah.
exactly. That's how fucked up this shit is.
The
And these niggas
society is.
be, yeah, but we make all them motherfuckers who they is, bro. Without
Right.
the views and likes, they wouldn't be shit no way.
But we don't control the views and likes no more.
No, all that shit monetized, so we
And not
gotta
only
deal
that, it's
with it.
controlled by their age group, which likes that bum, exciting, dumb shit. Who want to hear
Exactly.
you tell them I was there. Yeah, nigga, you
Yeah.
heard it? I brought the body with him.
Hey, look, it ain't
Yeah.
even rap. Hey, it ain't even rap no more. Niggas telling everything where
Tell
they
on us.
going, and then be talking about somebody snitched on me. Nigga, you told on yourself, you dumbass. Nigga.
Now that's a fact.
Right.
Man, this shit
Nah, but make
wild as
sure
hell.
make sure y'all pop up on us though, bro.
Oh yeah, we gonna hop up, man. We gonna come out.
I'm
We
glad
gonna come back. We
I'm
gonna
glad
come
I'm
back.
glad you was finally able to pull up, and it was ill when I shot you the text because I shot you the text and Hog was just talking about the city, 42 Doug and all that,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
See,
How
look. This the thing with all that too, man. I'm gonna just sum that up too. Like they east side, we west side. Like we never, them two, our two sides never really got along, but we ain't never really had a problem with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
just that
What
like
side? What
that.
side? Babyface Ray from?
The same east side, they
He on
all
East
from
Side
the
too?
east side.
Oh, okay.
All of them from the east side. That's
All right.
all team east side. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
We can't knock them. They doing their thing, man. They the
Yeah.
only ones really putting each other on, man. All right.
Right.
The city fucked up with that shit on our side. These niggas are too greedy. Don't nobody reach back and do shit.
Right. And
And
that's
we
what
know
we're
a few
saying. And Banger, that's what
millionaires
we were
and all
saying
that
too. When I
shit.
was telling you, there's no unity. Everybody's out for themselves. Ain't
fact.
nobody
Yeah,
looking out for
so
nobody but they family and they people. They don't care about what's going
And
on
they not
outside
even
of their
looking out for
circle.
that,
their family though. They not even
that
looking
part,
out for their true family at the end of the
yeah,
day. Like, you
they
get what I'm
not though.
saying? Like, then we go back to that broken structure too. You know what I'm saying? To be blended
Yeah.
families or mixed families or somebody else's family, somebody else's kids.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what we just said that, man. That's
Yeah.
gonna be hard. I was basically
Right?
saying how
It
oh,
ain't us that's not doing right, bro. Not to cut you off, but it's our thinking and listening skills, man. That's what it
right.
is,
But
bro.
that's what I was saying, King.
Our people fucked up right now, man. That
That's what
shit's
I was
sad.
saying, King. Like it's gonna be
Our
hard to
people,
get that unified front
man.
across the board. I don't know if we can. I mean, like I said, it's part of life of that son. So I say it doesn't seem like we'll ever be able to establish that type of unity that they had within the communities back then. You know what I mean? Or even
Yeah,
within the culture, because it's just so much
I think we
me,
just
me, me,
gotta
me, me, me.
I think we gotta just
yeah,
start in
that's what it is.
pockets. I
But
I
I
think we
think, look, though, I think it can, but something kind of catastrophic gotta happen, man. I think that. I think it can get back high, but something real gotta happen. It can't be no bullshit. Like all this.
Or you gotta have a very dynamic leader who can connect with
Yeah,
everyone at once. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That they
uh,
see that because then, like you said, like we really don't have that one significant leader. You know what I mean? That's
even willing to lead or take the reins. You know what I mean? Like everybody.
Shit, you got shit. How it been going all our life? Shit, you got you ready to die for that shit? They gonna kill you. You get
All
up and
that,
say the wrong thing, bro. When the
and that's
last
what
time you seen a president assassinated since back then? Like that shit ain't happened no more.
That's what we was talking about earlier, homeboy. The guy Lamar Smith, that was one of the topics. He was ready. You know what I'm saying? Like he was on the front line, and he actually got killed trying to model the behavior. He was trying to get all the other African Americans to lead and go, go vote, go register to vote. This and that. They killed him on the steps of the
Mm-hmm.
courthouse in Mississippi, and no one really is willing to be that type of martyr. If it costs them their life, they still gonna do what they got to do, and what they feel was purpose in their heart to accomplish. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, because
that is
nowadays
definitely
don't
gonna be a part of
nobody
it because nobody's willing to die,
right.
for somebody else. You know what I mean? Even for
Hell yeah,
themselves. Period. Everybody wants to stay alive,
but
but
people be but see that's the thing. People be acting like they will though. You feel me? People would be
and
like, man,
And
hell yeah.
when it's not organic, that's why they don't get too many followers because they see that they capping. They ain't really about what they talking about. Because when they get that pressure, they gonna fold. Or they put that money in front of them, they gonna take it for the bride. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying. It gotta be a different type of leader, man. That's really about what
Hell
they
yeah.
about.
Right. And when it ain't even gotta be a leader. It's just gonna take like a few people to get together and make it make sense, bro. We ain't gotta have no leader. It ain't even about and that's what's wrong with us too, man. Everybody be feeling like I ain't no worker. But shit, you'll get up and go to work for the white man. Everybody's workers. We all getting somebody rich. Our whole life, that's what we was built. But no, our people be like, ain't nobody telling me what to do, but to go to work. Like, what the fuck? You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? No, like that
True,
shit
true,
don't even
true,
make sense for real. Like
true.
everybody be sounding dumb as hell. You ain't gonna be no worker, so shit. What business you got? Bosses sign checks, man. I don't want to hear no pussy shit about what no nigga live, been through, all that old shit. Fuck that shit. What is we gonna do now? That's all I be saying. Like, what's poppin'? Niggas do some real shit, nigga.
You
We
allowed
with
to
it.
say a little bit more in Detroit. We in New York, Oz. We can't say but so much out this motherfucker. We gonna play respectable.
Oh yeah, back to what's going on. Back to what's going on in New York. On that note, let that be known. Like, yeah.
Hey man, you know we gonna go in on this motherfucker,
Them
man. Like
niggas
this
like we
shit.
checking every Greyhound, checking every bus that's coming into the city. Them niggas is like, hold up.
Want every dollar.
They got this man
Man.
downtown. That nigga trying to hit China lines and all that, man. They niggas not playing no games with New York right now.
Hey, he like they ain't on no
Unless
bullshit.
we get a submarine system, we are gonna wait until we can get out of this situation.
Like,
We gotta cross enemy lines or something. They not playing fair in New York.
man, I'm already hip, man. But
New York,
same
we
thing
sitting
here.
ducks. Now out there, you get a little bit more freedom. A nigga can hold his own. You feel me? Long as you know you can get you right, you hold your own. Out here, they not even trying to let you. You got to become a sailor to hold your own out here.
Oh
You
man,
better
but
put on
guess
a cop
what?
uniform.
Yeah.
You gotta be on. Fuck.
Hey man, dog, fool and all that motherfucker.
I'm
So
dead
you gotta
serious. This shit ain't playing. Out there, nigga, be a cool citizen. You get something, that's your note. I
hell,
live in
hey,
town, nigga, and go right to the gun store. Now I got to arm myself. This is the rights of me being in this motherfucking. Nah, they don't play
hey,
that
look,
shit
hey,
out here.
listen though, This what I'm saying, like. Man, ain't nobody in Detroit really doing nothing without guns. Everything is just like that down there. We just ain't got all them police because our police scary as fuck.
Oh,
Yeah,
y'all police like Chicago police, it sound like. They don't be
Cause
solving
nigga,
no murders like you said.
because niggas
yeah,
know the
nigga,
town. I'll
they'll
bust your
bust
fucking
on
head.
these.
I'll move a fucker. I'll come up there because bust your
Down
fucking
here,
head.
nigga, the police will get shot at too around this motherfucker. This bitch nasty.
Right.
But it's different, like he said. These niggas ride around with drums in their cage. You can't put no pistol on us. You the fucking civilian.
That's
You
what
a
I'm
little
saying.
pistol. These niggas got Mac 10s.
Yeah.
They ain't worried about you.
Right. They pulling out motherfucking 17 shots. These little niggas pulling out 30s and
I'm gonna check
50s
y'all. I'm
and
gonna
shit.
check y'all Saturday, man. Good meeting you, King. Be cool, man.
Oh,
You
no doubt.
already
All
get back
right, peace,
up
dog.
in a minute. You know, Banger, he definitely he got to check out. I appreciate you, brothers. I appreciate you, King. We definitely gonna be live again Saturday.
Yeah, good
All right,
looking. Good
we
looking
gonna
for
get
pulling
with
up, bro. I'm
y'all,
glad you
man.
made it.
Next time,
Yeah,
tell
man.
Banger shoot you one of them joints early so we make sure we got the because he hit you with
I
it when
was
we
on my
damn near.
job. I shot the link, brother.
No, I said
Yeah.
but y'all only been on here for about 30 minutes to have talk. We
Right,
on
we
here
just
over
got
2
on
hours,
here,
nigga.
bro. We ain't even turned up on this
Yeah,
motherfucker
you see.
Yeah.
But Banger hit me on the side note telling me it's time for the show to end. So it's okay. She
All right, man. All right,
she's
man.
taking
We
over.
gonna end it, bro.
Nah,
Yo,
we
but check it.
definitely gonna tune back in, though, bro. I appreciate your energy, man.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah,
Get
for
you from the
sure,
beginning.
man.
I want to know where that track at, because you know I'm the one that was making sure Banger verse was good and sending it back and forth.
Oh man, hey, look, man. Send me the well, D, I got your email. Like we working on some new shit. I'm gonna send y'all this other shit then, man.
yeah,
Make
most
sure
definitely.
dog here. It.
Yeah, we going definitely make it happen though. Yo, check it. Pull up in the studio Saturday. I'ma shoot you the link right before we go on, and then y'all pull up how you did today, and then we gonna make it happen. We gonna go from there. I'm gonna have the topic for you, let you know what the topic is and everything, and we gonna rock and roll, all right?
All right, let's
No,
do it.
but in a low, I would appreciate if you make a topic being that you from Detroit and this is Black History Month and like that's Motown and all that. Like it got to be something that we not touching.
Oh,
Being from
Right,
Detroit, like you got to have
right. But you
somebody
know
there.
what? But you know what I can do for y'all, man. We'll get in the car and ride around, man. I'll just show
He
y'all.
said he gonna be the. I got you. He gonna be live on the strip like I was last time.
all
Baby.
right. You gonna be live on the set then? Okay.
Yeah, he'll be live
Yeah,
on the set.
All right, and then pull up in the
we'll just move
studio.
around.
Do like half on the set and then pull up in the studio. Like,
No,
you know what
but
I'm
you're not
saying?
listening. You're not catching him. We said we just move around. He gonna show you the monuments. He gonna, that's what he's.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
know it.
Man,
Hey,
listen.
look, I know what he's saying, but I ain't gonna say it with him.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
gonna just move around.
All right,
Indeed.
bet. That's what it is. Yeah, let's make that happen then.
I hear what Dog's saying. He
Yeah,
hear me.
from NY to CT to the Motor City. That's the Motor City. That's Motown, baby.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's make it happen. All right, people of the world. This your man D Banger Thomas.
This landlord.
Let them know.
MOS King, man. 8400. Love, love,
8400
love.
repping the D.
Loyalty of love. We
That's
on
what it
that.
is.
And this is
Yo,
Be Your Own Therapist. We appreciate y'all, man. We'll
see
see you
y'all when
on
we see
Saturday.
y'all. All right, peace, y'all.